Okay. श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजम् अप्रमेयम् सीतापतिं रघुकुला आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षम् रामं निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि. So, welcome to Aranya Kanda. Aranya Kanda is canto number 3 in Valmiki Ramayana. This has 75 chapters, and we are going to see 1 through 75 chapters today. Jantam Rama Ramedhi Maduram Maduraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam Valmikir Munisimhasya Kavita Manicharanaha Shrinman Rama Kathamadam Konyati Parangatim Yapitam Sadatam Rama Charitamrita Sagaram Atraptastam Munim Vande Prachetas Makal Mashrim वैदेही सहितं सुरित्रमतले हैमे महामण्टपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमय वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्. This is the mood of listening to Valmiki Ramayana and the mood of reciting Valmiki Ramayana. Even if you know everything about Lord Rama, which obviously no one does, we should always be grateful for the opportunity to hear more. And we should always be grateful for the opportunity to recite Valmiki Ramayana as well. This is taken from Sundarakand. Now, the topics of Aranya Kanda. Before we go in for the topics of Aranya Kanda, what did we see so far? In Balakand, we saw the birth and the marriage of Lord Rama and Mother Sita. In Ayodhya Kand, we saw that on the day that he was supposed to be crowned the king, the Lord went to the forest with his beloved wife and beloved younger brother, Lakshmana. Bharata did not want the kingdom, even though Kaikeyi had brought in that had invoked the boons and had made sure that the opulent kingdom of Ayodhya goes to Bharata. Bharata was not having any of it. So he and a vast army go to Chitrakuta, where Lord Rama was residing in a beautiful little hermitage with Mother Sita and Lakshmana. He begs again and again and again and again for Lord Rama to come back to Ayodhya, but Lord Rama is very firm on his vow that he is going to reside in the forest so that his father's word is not proven false. And he gives his padukas or his sandals to Bharata. Bharata coronates the sandals. This is known as Paduka Pattabhishekam. He coronates the sandals, and every single decision that he made for the next 14 years was always sanctioned by the Padukas. So we should be willing to be ruled by Rama. So Ayodhyavasis have proven that, Bharata has proven that. We should want to be ruled by Rama. We should want to be controlled by Rama. He's our Ishvara. He's the controller of us. So this is who Rama is, and we should want to be controlled by him. So we ended Ayodhya Kand with the fact that Lord Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita Ma leave Chitrakuta and they go further, deeper into Dandakaranya. Dandakaranya, Aranya means forest. Danda was one of the sons of Ikshvaku. So he was the 100th son of Ikshvaku. And Dandakaranya became a forest because of a curse by Shukracharya. And we will hear more about this curse in Uttarakhand, in the final canto. So let's just wait for that. I'm not going to explain that right now. And Aranya Kand means it's the canto of the forest. So this is primarily split into 6 main topics. The first one is killing Viradha. The next is the interactions that the Lord has with the sages of Dandakaranya. Then Shurpanakha arrives, and we see that the whole Janasthan outpost, the Rakshasa outpost, is completely destroyed. Within a matter of 1.5 hours, 14,000 Rakshasas are completely obliterated. And the consequence of that is the kidnap of Mother Sita. And the kidnap of Mother Sita is it's a very difficult pastime for us to digest. But even more difficult than that is to see Lord Rama cry. And that's the next topic. But all is not wrong with the world. We're going to see moksha. We're going to see 2 different kinds of liberation, complete liberation, and one liberation from this earthly planet, and they go to a higher heavenly planet. That's not total liberation, it's just moving from a lower grade jail to a higher grade jail. So it's just moving in. But there are 2 different mokshas that we'll have to talk about here. And in Ayodhya Kand, Lord Rama was 25 years old. And the entire Ayodhya Kand describes just about 2 months or so after his 25th birthday. We're just talking about that small little span of time. And Aranya Kand goes from 25 years to 38 years. So Sita Ma was primarily kidnapped at the end of the 13th year, the beginning of the 14th year. It's like that. She was kidnapped around Sri Ramanavami Day. We don't know the exact nakshatra or anything, so that's why it's very difficult. But we know it was approximately. We know that it's definitely around Sri Ramanavami Day. All right, so let's go to the first topic, killing Viradha. So the Lord, he just goes on. He's very tranquil. He's undisturbed. So one thing that we want to highlight over here is that we saw in Ayodhya Kand that from Ayodhya to Chitrakuta, the first person to walk is Lakshmana. Next, it is Sita Ma, and the third is Lord Rama. But right now, the sages in Chitrakuta have already warned Lord Rama that there are many Rakshasas in Dandakaranya. So the Lord walks first, then it's Sita Ma, and then it's Lakshmana. So the Lord protects his family members from the front, and Lakshmana, who is obviously a very skilled archer and a wonderful warrior as well, he is there to protect everyone from the back. But the Lord takes on the danger first, so that's why we see this particular order here. So they go to a lovely group of hermitages. The rishis are so happy to see Lord Rama, and they bless them and make sure that they have all sort of blessings to protect them from every danger. They ask them to stay in the cottage. They offer their humble fare of fruits, roots, water, and etc. And they say, please help us because we are suffering from the onslaught of Rakshasas. It doesn't matter whether you live in the forest or whether you live in the palace. You are our king, and we are begging you, can you please protect us? And they also say that they are capable of destroying the demons, but it is going to reduce the power of the austerities. So there is one particular term for Lord Rama, which is known as Satya Parakrama. Satya Parakrama has got 2 different meanings. One is the one whose truth is very powerful. So Rama is known for being very true to his word and all that. Yes, that is great. And over here, based on the context, we can understand that over here, Satya Parakrama means the one who's truly powerful. A truly powerful person can continue to exhibit their powers, but those powers would not diminish. So for Rama, even if he were to kill demons through some power, his power is never going to diminish. So he's been called Satya Parakrama, and this is the whole point. His powers will never diminish. And the sages know this. The sages say that Rama, we do not want to reduce our austerity, so um, uh, uh, can you please kill the Rakshasas? Can you do that? And we don't want to rely on anything other than you. This is also a very important thing. Why should we rely on ourselves? Why should we rely on us? Because we are very finite, tiny little beings. Let us rely on the Supreme Lord. We should rely on Him. And the Lord is happy to do that, and He gives them their word. And then they move into the forest, and they see that something is very, very disturbed over there. They see one huge Rakshasa. He is very ugly and is deformed, and he rushes towards them. He snatches Sita Ma, and he says that Sita Ma is going to be his bride. Sita Ma trembles with fear, and Rama says, "Oh Lakshmana, look at this! Without Sita, how am I supposed to live?" And Rama sobs aloud, and he says, Lakshmana says, "Brother dear, do not lament thus." And Lakshmana begins to shoot very sharp arrows on the hides of the Rakshasa. And then Viradha Rakshas asks, "Who are you?" And Rama says, "We are the sons of King Dashrata." And Virat says that he's a son of Java and Shatakhrada, and his name is Viradha. Even if you take a look at Sanskrit terms, Radha means love. Viradha means the one who does not have any love. That is the name of Viradha. So that's why Viradha is definitely a Rakshasa. And he says that you should make sure that Sita is with me, and Rama thinks as soon as he turned his mind towards Sita, he is definitely going to die. It's not going to he's not going to live anymore. And he shoots arrows, and Rama's arrows always have a bird's feather. It's either peacock or it's Garuda's feathers. There is even one with vulture as well. So there are different types of feathers that he uses, and in this instance he used a peacock feathered arrow. They hurt him, but they still don't kill him. So he just drops Sitama, and he just rushes towards the princess, and then he captures Rama and Lakshmana, holds them on the shoulder, and he runs out. And then Sitama runs behind the Rakshasa and says, "Please take me also with him, with Rama and Lakshmana. Without Rama, I cannot live." Then Rama and Lakshmana chop the mighty arms of Viradha Rakshas, and they kick him and trample him, but still the Rakshasa does not die. However, he got to feel the sacred foot of the Lord. And because of that, the Maya that had clouded his vision was cast away. He understands that Lord Rama is the master of the universe. And he says that I am happy to die at your hands. And Sitama is Mother Lakshmi, and Lakshmana is part of Lord Rama himself. He says that once upon a time he was a Gandharva by the name of Tumburu, and he was cursed by Kubera to become a Viradha Rakshas. But Kubera said that Dashratha's son Rama will definitely kill him in battle, and he says that he cannot be killed with weapons. Virad himself says that this is how I can die. He cannot be killed in weapons, and therefore the only way to do that was to bury him in a deep pit. And Lakshmana digs the pit, and they dash Viradha to the ground and throw him in that pit. Of course, Viradha passes away. Now we are going into the next topic, the sages of Dandakaranya. So, Viradha, before dying, had asked Lord Rama to go ahead and meet Sharabhanga Muni. So Sharabhanga Muni was a wonderful Muni. He was a very old, very powerful sage. So they slowly walk towards Sharabhanga Muni's ashram, and they see a celestial vehicle appear. Green horses, multiple apsaras and gandharvas, and a resplendent being exits that chariot and that aerial chariot, you can say, and goes into the ashram, and he introduced himself as Indra. It's the lord of the celestials. Indra tells Sharabhanga something, and then he says that I don't want to see Rama right now, because I'm going to see him after Rama has done a magnificent deed. So indeed, after Ravana is killed, Indra does meet Lord Rama. This comes at the end of Yuddhakan, but he didn't want to meet him right now. And after Indra leaves, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita go to the hermitage of sage Sharabhanga. And Sharabhanga says that Indra wanted to take him directly to Satyaloka, to Brahma's land. He wanted to take him there, but Sharabhanga refused. And why? Because even residing in um, the highest material world is not as pleasurable to bhaktas as one service to the Lord. It's very important for us to learn this, because we usually think, normal people think, oh, heaven is full of pleasure, it's very beautiful, and especially more than Indraloka, which is Swarga, Brahmaloka is full of very pious people. They're really very nice. It's so bright, it's so tranquil and everything. And yet Sharabhanga Muni did not want to go to even Brahmaloka, because he knows that Rama is standing right next to him. Without seeing Rama, which is just for a small glimpse, but without seeing Rama, he didn't want to do anything. He doesn't care where his next life is. Right now, he has that opportunity to serve Rama, and he didn't want to miss out on that opportunity. And he says, Rama, I have acquired so many worlds through the powers of my austerities. Can you please take them? And Rama says, no, because as a Kshatriya, I cannot accept this from you. He says this. And Sharabhanga says, okay, can you please go and visit sage Sutikshna? So throughout Valmiki Ramayana, we see there are always nuggets of information passed on from one bhakta to another. Each one asks the Lord to go and visit another person. For example, Bharadwaj Muni was the one who said, go and reside in Chitrakuta. In Chitrakuta, the sages point Lord Rama to walk towards Janasthan, and there they encounter Viradha, who asks them to go to Sharabhanga Muni. Sharabhanga Muni asks them to go to Sutikshna. Sutikshna asks them to go to sage Agastya. Agastya Muni asks them to go to Panchavati. From Panchavati, the deer point them towards the southern direction, and over there they see Jatayu, and then from Kabandha asks them to go to Kabandha then asks them to go to Sugriva. And like this, you see that there's always nuggets of information passed on, and the Lord is happy to comply. Whoever wants him, he will be there. Sharbanga lights a fire, and through the yoga Agni, he just enters it, and he becomes resplendent as Agni. And then he courses through the various lokas, and he lands up going to Vaikuntha itself. Yeah, and he's personally welcomed by Lord Narayana and Mother Lakshmi. They personally welcome him. Why? Because he knows that Saktiloka is not as important as serving the Lord. And when a bhakta does so much for the Lord will always reciprocate. Next, we see that the Lord Rama goes on, he walks on. There are multiple sages, and they're all very happy to look at the Lord, and they're blazing with spiritual luster. They say that they have no other refuge other than Lord Rama. It says that Lord Rama, the king, takes 1/6 of the belongings. So the tax should always be 15%, which is approximately 1/6 of the belongings, and therefore the king should protect them. And even if the rishis don't have anything to give him, they're still begging for protection. And they say that Rakshasas burned the rishis, burnt few rishis, and you can see piles of ashes of the bones of the rishis. And they say that we don't really care what happens to our bodies, because these are all very advanced rishis. They know that we are not the body, we're the soul. But still, it's very difficult for them to see to stay quiet when such atrocities are happening. A good person will never stand still for atrocities. We shouldn't just allow heinous crimes to be committed all around us. And they say, Rama, you can protect this entire world, so please go ahead and protect us too. Rama says, I promise that my brother and I will protect all of you. And um, uh, this is my promise. Rama's promise is very powerful indeed. So after this promise, they go on to see a beautiful, wonderful, sweet sage by the name of Sutikshna. Sutikshna. And Sutikshna welcomes him warmly. And like Sharabhanga, he also offers multiple worlds to Lord Rama. But then Rama says, no, 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 I don't want anything. And they stay with him for a very long time. And then we also see that there are other sages, they take leave of Sutikshna, visit other sages, and Sutikshna says, come and see me again. And now this is a turning point in Valmiki Ramayana. This is a turning point. So now we should think that why did why was the kidnap of Sita Ma necessary? Why was the kidnap necessary? Okay, we can say that it's because finally, ultimately, Ravana should be killed and everything. Okay, but Rama could have killed Ravana through his Icha Shakti. He doesn't even have to take the form of a human being. He could have just killed him just by wishing that someone is dead. The Lord can kill anyone. He's that powerful. And yet uh, and yet we can see that Lord did not do that. He took the incarnation as a human being. Why? Because the Devata said, please become a human being and kill Ravana in battle. Okay, so the Lord agrees to kill Ravana in battle. But he could have killed Ravana as a king of Ayodhya. Why was it necessary for him to come to the forest? He came to the forest because there are multiple other devotees in there, as well as he knows that Brahma had asked all the devatas to take birth as Vanaras, and Vanaras will stay only in the forest. So it's necessary for the Lord, who provides perfect opportunities for his bhaktas, to make sure that the Vanaras have an opportunity to serve him. But right now we see that he's in the forest, fine, and he is protecting sages. So he could have just killed Ravana like this. Why did he have to make sure that Sita Ma is kidnapped? Because of this particular slide. Now, out of overwhelming love for Lord Rama, Sita Ma says that there are three things a man should never do. What are those three things? Mithya Vakyam. Vakyam means specious words, false words. Then Paradara Bhigamanam, lusting after another woman. Vina Vairam cha Raudrata, that means persecution, enmity, without any cause. And Sita herself says, "Oh Rama, you can never speak specious words. You can never speak false words. And you love your own wife so much to even think about another woman. You can never do that. But now I'm afraid that you may be committing the third sin, and that is Vina Vairam Raudrata. You promised to slay all the Rakshasas in Dandaka forest, but why do you want to injure someone with whom you have no personal quarrel? You have no personal reason to do that. And Sitama also says that, once Indra was very jealous of a saint, and so he gave that saint, he assumed the form of a warrior, and he gave that saint a sword and asked him to protect it. The saint was such a great person, but because this warrior had asked him to protect the sword, he took the sword everywhere he went. And due to constant association with the sword, he became very violent. And of course, he lost the powers of his austerities because of that. He became very violent, very cruel. And now Sitama says, I'm very afraid. I'm very afraid that by constantly using the bow, it might have an adverse effect on you. And she once again iterates that I am not teaching you your duty, but I just don't want you to kill someone without having any quarrel. And right now, you are in the garb of a rishi. After going back to Ayodhya, you can take up your mantle as a Kshatriya. So Lord Rama says, only King Janaka's daughter can speak like this to me because of your extreme love for me. And he says, Tvam pranepyo abhigariyasi. You can see 4:10:21. Tvam means you, pranebhyo means my life, api means even, gariyasi means lofty. You're greater than even my own life. Tvam pranepyo abhigariyasi. And he says the sages have sought my protection, and how can I just be quiet, because the sages are looking for looking to me to help them out. Then how can I be quiet? And so he just suits Sitaman, and Sitaman doesn't bring this topic up again. But now we can see the Vairam Vina Raudrata. You see this line in here? The Vairam Vina Raudrata. This is the key reason why the kidnap of Sitama was necessary. So, what is the significance of this exchange? The wives should also know what is dharma. It's not that only the husband should know dharma. No, the wife should know, and they should follow Sitama's style of communication and gently speak their minds to their husbands. Then this is one, the material level of knowledge that we can all inculcate. The second point is that the kidnap of Sitama was the just cause that Lord Rama needed to kill Ravana. So Sitama said, I don't want you to kill Rakshasas without any personal cause. The personal cause. So she herself gives that reason, because a husband is supposed to protect his wife. Nobody can ever find fault with Rama for killing Ravana because he was protecting his wife. Nobody can find that fault. So Rama is the supreme. He can kill them anywhere, anytime, any circumstance. But Sitama did not want him to fight without a cause, and therefore the kidnap of Sitama was essential. Every action, every speech of the Lord has multiple versatile meanings behind it. So please remember this. And by the way, only Valmiki Ramayana has mentioned this. To the best of my knowledge, no other version has ever mentioned this. So this is why Valmiki Ramayana is far superior to every other version. Now, They stay for 13 months in one place, for 4 months in another place, 6 months in another place. So they keep on spending time like this, and like this, 10 years pass. So within two verses, we get to see that Lord is going from 25 years to 35 years immediately within two verses. That's all it takes. Then one day, he returns to Sage Sutikshna's ashram and says, "I want to see Sage Agastya." So Sutikshna Muni, guides him. This is where Sage Agastya is. They should go and see over there. And before he goes to Sage Agastya's home, he sees Sage Agastya's hermitage. He goes to see Sage Agastya's brother. I don't know the name. It's not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. But Rama decides to tell some stories about Sage Agastya to Lakshmana and Sita Ma. So there were two Rakshasa brothers called Ilvala and Vatapi, and they were very cruel. So Ilvala would kill Vatapi, and he would cook him and feed the sages. The sages would unwittingly eat it, and then he would say, "Vatapi, come out." And then Vatapi will come outside. He will tear the sage and he will come outside, and both of them would enjoy eating the sage. And then the Devatas asked Agastya Muni to help him out, and Ilvala fed Vatapi to the sage, but then and Ilvala said, "Vatapi, come outside," but then Sage Agastya said, "I have already digested your brother," and so Vatapi was killed like that. Then Sage reduce Ilvala to ashes as well. So this way, Sage Agastya killed Vatapi and Ilvala. And by the way, we might think, oh, maybe the sages ate meat at that time. Uh, Maybe Agastya was, maybe the sages at that time, were they were just taken unawares. But anyway, they are very powerful sages. We are not like them. Our acharyas have said not to eat meat, so that's what we should follow. Sage Agastya. So in the morning they go to Sage Agastya's ashram, and it's so tranquil that everyone, devatas, Gandharvas, Siddhas, everyone seeks the association of Sage Agastya Muni. And he also says, Vindhya Parvat, which is in middle of India, you can say, it wanted to stop the course of the sun. He wanted to grow taller and taller and wanted to stop the course of the sun. If that were the case, then the southern region of India would not receive any sunlight at all. It would completely be under the shadow of Vindhya Parvat. And this is why Sage Agastya came to the south, and he said that, I want you to continue to bow down to me or something like that. And he comes to the south, and then he doesn't go back. So because India is still bowing down, South India actually has sunshine. So Agam Parvatam Stambeti. So Ag means Parvat. Stambeti means he vanquished the pride of Vindhya Parvat. That's the reason why his name is Agastya. Then Lakshmana announces the arrival of Rama and Sita. They touch the feet of the sage. The sage offers them roots and fruits, water, and all that. And then he says that Vishwakarma has made a beautiful bow for Lord Mahavishnu, and there are inexhaustible quivers left by Indra, and an exquisite sword. And all of these I give to both of you. Now, we may think that in Balakand, we saw that sage Parashurama had a Vishnu bow, and he said that that was also fashioned by Vishwakarma, and he asked Rama to wield it, which Rama obviously does. And after Parashuram goes back, Lord Rama gives that bow to Varuna. Valmiki Ramayana does not make it clear whether it is that same bow that Agastya has, which he gave to Lord Rama at this time, or was it another bow that Vishwakarma had made for Lord Vishnu? Either way, we should know that Lord Vishnu's bow came to Lord Rama. That's all we should know. And Sage Agastya said, go towards Godavari River. So on the way to Panchavati, they see a huge vulture. They think that maybe it's some sort of a Rakshasa, but they say, no, 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 I'm a great friend of your dear father, King Dashrata. And it says that I want to know your lineage. So he gives the lineage of Kashyapa and his 8 wives. So it's pretty long, but I just wrote whatever was salient for just Jatayu. So one of the wives' name, we have Aditi, all of those, but one of the names is Tamra, and Tamra's daughter is Shuki. Shuki's daughter is Nata. Nata's daughter is Vinata. Vinata had 2 sons, Garuda and Arun. Arun is the charioteer of Lord Surya, and Garuda is obviously the vehicle of Lord Vishnu. Aruna's son Aruna's sons are Sampati and Jatayu. So this is how Aruna, Garuda, Sampati, Jatayu, and Sampati's son Suparshva was mentioned in end of Kishkinda Khan. So there are 5 Vainatayas mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. Vainatayas are the descendants of Lady Vinata. So we've already seen the Vinata is the mother. So all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, and Sampati's son 5. So these 5 are known as Vainatayas. And Hanuman is regularly compared to a Vainataya. And we will see. Usually Vainatayas mean Garuda, but all 5 are Vainatayas. So Jatayu says that I'm happy to look after Sitama whenever Rama and Lakshmana go off deeper into the forest. I'll be there, and they're fine. They walk towards Panchavati. This is actual Panchavati, by the way. This is not actual Jatayu. It's just a vulture. This is actual Panchavati. And Rama asks Lakshmana to construct a very beautiful, charming little cottage. And Lakshmana says, Brother dear, I'll build whatever you want. You just let me know. And Rama finds a very beautiful spot near Godavari, with plenty of water, plenty of fruits and trees and all that. And says that, okay, fine, let us go ahead and build a cottage over here. And Rama is full of praise, and he loves to praise his devotees. He does that, and he says that I haven't lost my father because my father lives in you. You serve me like my son, and you protect me like my father. And so my father lives in you. I haven't lost him. Also, it's a very tender moment. And they live in the cottage for a while. So we know that it's approximately for about 3 years. So from 35 years of age to around 38 years is approximately for 3 years. And during one of the winters, Lakshmana is talking about the beauty of the season, and Bharata is also conducting tapasya right now. So this is one place where we get to know that Bharata is also as dark as Lord Rama. And so Rama and Bharata are dark in color, and Lakshmana and Shatrughna are very fair, like molten gold. Not molten gold. They are pure gold. Sitama is molten gold. Tapta Kanchana and Lakshmana and Shatrughna are Shuddha Jambu, pure gold. It's a difference. Whereas Balram is milky white. It's just variations in appearances. And Lakshmana says, how did Kaikeyi get a son as wonderful as Bharata? And Rama says, no, 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 let's not criticize Kaikeyi. Tell me more about Bharata. I want to hear more of his praise. Let's and he says, in after 14 years we will definitely see Bharata. They were talking about all of this. It's right now. It's about 1 year left in their exile. So they are definitely thinking a lot about Ayodhya at the moment. Now we're going to go into the next topic. So in Ayodhya Kand, we saw one turning point with Manthara. Manthara and her greed twisted Kaikeyi's mind, and Kaikeyi, being the queen that she is in a position of great power, she was able to enforce a lot of her greed, and the ramifications of her greed were felt by the entire country, the family, everybody. So everyone felt that greed. And then we thought that, okay, fine, maybe right now Rama is very tranquil. He himself has said that he loves being in the forest. In Chitrakuta, he loves Panchavati. It's very calm, it's very peaceful, it's very nice. He's spending time with sages. Maybe the whole of the Aranyakan would be just as smooth. But life is never that smooth. And we see how lust, we saw the effect of greed, now we're going to see the effect of lust. Lusty Shurpanakha. So one day, Shurpanakha, Nakha means nails, and Shurp is a type of a fan. So it's very long nails. It's like winnow, like nails. So that's why, and this was kind of the closest that I could find to perfection. You can see her nails in here. It's drawn very large and all that. So that's why her name is Shurpanakha. So every name has a meaning. Ravana literally means the one who makes the world cry. Rama means the one who is the reservoir of all happiness. Lakshmana means the one who has all Lakshan. Bharata means the one who can bear. Shatrughna is the enemy of the enemies. Dasharatha means the one who can drive 10 chariots at the same time, or he can control the chariot in all 10 directions. So both of them mean Dasharatha. So all of these, Sumantra means the one who always gives good counsel. So Meghnad means the one who has a voice like the thundering clouds. So the names have meanings. The names are very significant.
And Hare Krishna Mataji. And Jatayu means?
Jatayu, I don't know, Mataji. Jatayu and Sampati, I don't know. I can ask someone who's better, well versed in Sanskrit, and let you know. I'll try to find it out. Sorry, Mataji, I don't know. So she is very ugly to look at. She's very ugly. She has bloodshot eyes. She has this straggling mane, and she falls in love with Rama, who is the epitome of beauty. He has lovely lotus petal like eyes, loveliest locks, sweetest voice, and all this. And she falls in love. In she's Valmiki says that she's Kama Rupini. That means that she can change the form as all asuras can, but Valmiki does not say that she changed the form. Valmiki says that she retained that form, even though she could have changed, she did not change. She retained that form and she went as an ugly Rakshasi in front of Lord Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana. And she says, "Who are you? You're so handsome. Who are you?" So Lord Rama says, "This is who I am." And he says, "Well, who are you?" And she says, "I'm the younger sister of Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishna. I have fallen in love with you, Rama, and I want you to marry me." Who is this hollow-bellied? This is what this is how she describes Sita Ma. Who is this hollow-bellied? Sallow, this dry, bone dry woman who is right next to you. She's not at all suited for you. And Rama says, "I happen to love my wife very much, and I cannot just keep her away." And he says, "Look at Lakshmana. Why don't you go and speak to Lakshmana?" And Shurpanakha goes to Lakshmana and says, "Oh, Lakshmana, I'm fallen in love with you. You're the replica of your older brother." Lakshmana says, You wanted to be a queen and now you want to be my slave? As my wife, you need to serve my older brother and his wife, and you wanted to be the queen and now you want to be a servant. How can you think like this? And just go back to Rama. Just go back. So Valmiki says that this is actually very humorous, when you read the actual statement spoken by Rama and Lakshmana. It's very humorous. So this is the instance of Hasya Rasa. We know that all rasas exist in Valmiki Ramayana. This is the example of Hasya Rasa. So Lakshmana just said in jest, just go back to Rama. After all, his wife is just this, hollow-bellied, whatever descriptions she had used to describe Sita Ma, he uses the same thing and says, after all, this is Sita. No, you just go back. The demoness is very angry and she says, I'm going to eat Sita. Lakshman, Rama says. Lakshmana comes closer. He has his mighty sword, and he just unsheathes the sword, and bam, bam, the ears and the nose of Shurpanakha are gone. By the way, there are 4 demons in Valmiki Ramayana who lose their ears and nose. The first one is Tataka. Lakshmana chops off her ears and nose. Next, we have Shurpanakha. Third, we have another Rakshasi called Ayomukhi. Lakshmana chops off her ears and nose as well. We will see her in later parts of Aranya Kanda itself. And the fourth is actually Kumbhakarna. Sugriva is the one who does that, though. This is pretty interesting. Okay. So now Lakshmana has chopped off her ears and nose. She's bleeding and she runs to her cousin Khara. Khara is the head of the Janasthan Rakshasa outpost. And he says, oh, Shurpanakha, what happened to your face? Who mutilated you? How did you get hurt? He says, oh, Khara, oh, there is this valiant prince. He's just a human being, and then she says bad things about him. He's just an ordinary human being. He's so tiny and all that. And then because she didn't want Khara to lose interest, she says, oh, but even though he's tiny, he looks very powerful. You have to see his bow, you have to see his arrow. It's very large. They look as if they are experts in weapons and all that. So she speaks, both ways. This is what we would call very opportunistic. And Khara says, okay, I am going to send 14 generals to kill Rama and Lakshmana. And Shurpanakha, she just guides them, oh, this is how you need to reach the ashram of Lord Rama. Rama says, Lakshmana, guard Sita, I'll just deal with these Rakshasas and I'll come back. So, so the demons say, ha ha ha, Rama, you're just a puny human being. Come with me, come with us, and take shelter of our beloved Lord of Khara, and then he might just forgive you for all your sins. And Rama says, okay. And then he places 14 flaming narachas. This is type of an arrow. It's not a straight pointy arrow. It's some other type of arrow. He places them on his bow, and 14 arrows find the target on 14 different generals. With a single arrow, he just kills them. They all die on the spot. Shurpanakha trembles, and then she runs off to Khara. And then Khara cannot believe, what? With just a single arrow, he killed each one of my giants? Oh my goodness. No, then I'm sure that he is a Mayavi, let's take all 14,000. Ravana had given us 14,000 Rakshasas. Let all 14,000 of us, let's go and squish that puny mortal. Let's just squish him. Okay, fine. And they face multiple bad omens, such as jackals are howling, the buzzards are roaming around above the flag post, the horses are crying, and tears are just pouring out. But Rakshasas, they don't really care about such omens. I'm going. In Yuddha Kanda, it's so funny that Valmiki has mentioned, each and every Rakshasa noticed so many bad omens, and all of them inevitably just ignored everything, and they would go and fight, they would die, and then the next one would come, and it's quite cyclical. It's actually quite humorous when we read Yuddha Kand, or at least portions of it is quite humorous. And then Lord Rama, he notices all the bad omens, but he notices good omens on his side. For example, Lakshmana was radiant, and then he sees that his bow is quivering because it's so curious to go and shoot arrows. It's very it's very eager to serve the Lord. We should know that in the spiritual world, everything has a form. Everything is personified. This is inclusive of the weapons of the Lord. The bow of the Lord is also a person. The Shankha Chakra, they are also persons. In many temples in South India, the chakra is known as Chakrat Alvar. He's a person. It's in many Sri Vaishnava temples in South India, you can see an altar specifically for chakra. It's not just one disc. It's actually a person who is assuming the form of the disc so that the Lord can use it. So all the weapons are personified. Similarly, even the bow of the Lord is also personified, and the bow over here is quivering. So it shows that even the bow has emotions. Even the arrows of the Lord also have emotions, and they're all eager to do the Lord's bidding, because everything in the spiritual world is personified. There is nothing impersonal over there. Nothing is impersonal. Everything is personal, because the Lord is a person. Ultimately, everything comes down to this: because the Lord is a person. And he says, Lakshmana, you take Sita ma and you go and hide in a cave. And Lakshmana does that. He obeys his mother, his brother's commands. And Rama dons his flaming armor. And the celestials say, oh, for the protection of cows and brahmanas, may Lord Rama be victorious. For the protection of cows and brahmanas, may Lord Rama be victorious. Rama sees Khara and his army coming towards him. He grasps his bow and draws the arrows from his quiver, and he looks like the fire of dissolution. How can the sweet, the tender, the mild, the soft-spoken, the sweet-spoken, the kind-hearted, the compassionate Lord Rama look like this? That's because he is Lord Rama. He's everything. The Supreme Lord is everything. But it doesn't mean that when he's assuming the form of this devastating fire, the fire of dissolution, it doesn't mean that when he's in that form, he would lose his compassion. No. The Lord is perfectly capable of maintaining all the emotions in perfect balance. We are not like that. If we get angry, we are really angry. For us to be angry and sweet at the same time is very difficult, but not for Rama, because this is Rama. We're talking about Supreme Lord, so he's capable of doing far more number of things than we can ever even dream of. So even over here, we will see in a little while what I'm talking about, compassion, we will see that in a little bit. So the Khara and the Rakshasas, they keep on throwing multiple arrows, and Rama shoots multiple arrows at them as well. So they heard tridents, not just arrows, tridents, swords and axes and other weapons. Rama, blink of an eye, shatters all of them. Then Dushana is the second brother. Khara, Dushana, and Trishira. These are the three brothers who are heading the Janasthan outpost. Dushana comes in. He has 5,000 Rakshasas, and Rama takes 2 arrows, goes ahead and kills Dushana. And all the Devatas, sadhu, sadhu iti, sadhu, sadhu iti. They're so happy. Then other Rakshasas, Mahakala, Kamala, Sthulaksha, and Pramathi, they attack Rama with a trident, sword, and axe. Rama chops off Kapala's head. He uses innumerable arrows. It's all within split seconds, by the way. Within a split second, he shoots innumerable arrows and kills a Pramathi. And then he kills another 5,000 arrows, 5,000 Rakshasas with 5,000 arrows. In the first point, we saw 5,000. So totally, we've seen the destruction of 10,000 Rakshasas within a blink of an eye. And then Shenagami, Pritugriva, Yagna Shatru, noble names, Yagna Shatru, Vihangama, Durjaya, Karaviraksha, Parusha, Kala Karmuka, Hemamali, Mahamali, Sarpasya, and Rudrashana. Rudrashana means the one who keeps on drinking blood, by the way. Rudra means blood. Rama kills all of them. Everything, everyone, bang, 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 they're all gone. So within a blink of an eye, we get to see that 14,000 Rakshasas advance towards Lord Rama, and they're all dispatched to the halls of Yama. All of them are dispatched to the halls of Yama. Then Trishiras, this is the third brother. The Trishiras advances towards the Lord, and Trishira, the Lord uses 3 arrows. 3 shiras means there are 3 different arrows. 3 different heads. So the Lord uses 3 arrows to cut off 3 heads of Trishira. And now, and by the way, there is another Rakshasa called Trishira who's killed by Hanuman in Yuddhakand. So there might be like 2 different Rakshasas with 3 heads, and both their parents, decided to say that both of them should be called as Trishiras. So this is one Trishira. Another Trishira we will see in Yuddhakand, and Hanuman takes a sword, Trishira's own sword, and lops up all 3 heads at one go. We will see that Yuddhakanda is really fascinating. It's very fascinating. Khara is now very afraid of Rama, and because he has already killed Dushana and Trishiras, he's already killed them. Now Rama leans idly on his bow. In many places it said that when the Lord leans on the bow, even people who are angry with the Lord, they forget that anger because of the beauty of that form. This is why I've made sure that it's over there. And when he leans on this bow, he's shining like 1,000,000 suns, and he's so beautiful to look at. In Sri Vaishnava temples, Lord Rama is always pretty much known as Kodanda Rama. Kodanda Rama means the Rama with the bow. The Kodanda means the bow of Lord Rama. So Kodanda Rama, when Rama is standing on this bow, he leans so beautifully. It's that the form is so exquisite that the heart just stops beating. The heart literally stops beating when we see the beauty of the Lord over there. And therefore the temples, the Shilpis and the others who have actually made those beautiful deity forms, they have read Valmiki Ramayana. They have read it, and they have seen that the Lord's beauty is exacerbated by this sweet pose of him leaning on the bow. It's the Lord's beauty is exacerbated by that. And Khara is now very mad with rage, and says, and Rama, he destroys one thing after the other. Rama destroys everything, and he finally has only one club, one mace, and therefore right now Rama is seeking to teach Khara. See, Rama is not just punishment when he's fighting. It's not just punishment. He is trying to teach Khara, what you're doing is wrong. you shouldn't slaughter hermits. You shouldn't disturb the sages' tapasya. You shouldn't do that. And I have come here to protect the sages. But Khara, he accuses Rama of being a braggart. It says, you're just a puny mortal. You're just a contemptuous human being. I am Khara. And he throws that club on Rama. Rama just chops it up into fragments within 1 second, and then he chops off Khara into 1,000 pieces as well. And he uses an arrow which is like fire and looks like Brahmadanda. By the way, this was the same arrow that was given by sage Agastya to Lord Rama. And he kills Khara. All the Raja Rishis and the Brahma Rishis and the Devatas who had all assembled to witness the Lord's beautiful fight against Khara, Dushana, and Trishira, they all applaud him. And Sita Ma, and within 1 hour, he destroyed 14,000 Rakshasas within just 1 hour. 1 hour, unfathomable is the valor of Lord Rama. And meanwhile, Lakshmana and Sita, they are so happy to see. They are very happy to see Lord Rama as well. They are extremely happy. This is the first time, by the way, Sita Ma has seen Lord Rama. And this is the first time Sita Ma has seen Lord Rama coming from a battle. She has never been in this form before. And she, hugs Lord Rama. And Rama is looking so beautiful, so happy that he won and he has the embrace of Sita Ma. It's a very tender, sweet moment. So this is what I'm saying, that even when he fights, he's very compassionate. Even when he's mild, he has anger. We saw that yesterday with Jabali. He was conversing very mildly with Bharata, but once Jabali says something that is atheistic or had Mayavada philosophies, he can get angry as well. So Rama can balance all emotions perfectly. Why? Because he's completely transcendental. So his exhibition of anger, his exhibition of compassion are not material. They're all highly transcendental. Now, let us go on to the fourth topic, and this is the kidnap of Mother Sita. We already saw that in the 9th chapter of Aranya Kanda, Sita Ma talks about the 3 things: Mithya Vachanam, Paradara Vigamanam, and Vairam Vina Raudrata. And she herself agrees that Rama will never do Mithya Vachanam or speak speciously or have Paradara Vigamanam, lust after other women or women who are not his wives, not his wife. And she was afraid about Vairam Vina Raudrata. And yes, Rama does say a lot of things. He says that I'm fine. It is my responsibility to protect the sages. Those are all great. But over here, we get to see the kidnap of Mother Sita. And this is a turning point, and it's very difficult for us to digest. If you have a picture of Sita Ma in front of you, please look at her and please bow down, because she has gone through so much just so that we can come closer to her husband's lotus feet. Please look at Sita Ma. I'm sitting right in front of a picture of Bhadrachalam, Lord Rama, Sita Ma, and Lakshmana. And I'm looking and I'm seeing Sita Ma's incredible sacrifice, her incredible love for us, that she would put herself in so much of pain, so much of tribulation, just so that we will come closer to Lord Rama. Yeah, we will come closer to Lord Rama, and that was her sole aim and sole purpose. And this is a pretty difficult topic, so have the fortitude. Ultimately, we know that Sita and Rama are just conducting a pastime. Sita and Rama can never be separated. They're always together. And we know that even in the course of Ramayana, Rama and Sita will come back together again. So with that bearing in mind, let's just move on. So now, Akampana, out of the 14,000 Rakshasas, Rama actually killed 13,999. One Rakshasa was left scot-free, and his name is Akampana. Kampana means the one who shakes. Akampana means the one who does not shake. Okay, Akampana, and please remember this name. Please remember this Rakshasa, because the person who kills him is very important as well. Does anyone know who kills Akampan?
Hanuman.
Perfect. And we'll see the poetic justice that the Lord plays with this. So let's go on. So Akampan is a sole survivor. So he rushes to Ravana and said that the entire Janasthan outpost is vanquished, completely gone. And then he says, Indra, Kuber, Yama, Vishnu, not even they can bother to displease me. I am the death of death. I am the fire of fire. And I am the time that can destroy time. I have the power to reduce the sun to ashes. And even the air can turn powerless. Who dare try to defy me? Me. So powerful. I am so great. The Akampana says, oh, Ravana, the son of Dasharatha, that Rama is there. He is of unparalleled beauty and grace. And he is so powerful that he destroyed all 14,000 Rakshasas. It's the only person who escaped. And he has one younger brother. And he's also just as valiant. It's very interesting to note that Lakshmana did not shoot a single arrow. Lakshmana did not kill those 14 14 Rakshasas. Lakshmana did not kill one of the 14,000 demons, but he is a replica of Lord Rama. He's a replica. It's not that he's shorter or he's thinner, he's smaller. No, he and Rama are replicas of each other. They look like Ashwino Kumaro. This has been mentioned by Sumati, by King Janaka. They are like twins. They are like identical twins, except for their color. And because of that, he says even Lakshmana is so valiant. They're so wonderful. Then Ravana says, oh, I need to confront them immediately. And Akampan says, no, Ravana, don't do that, because Rama is very powerful, but there is a way to weaken him. What is it? I need to know. Rama loves his Sita very much. So if you were to separate, if you were to kidnap if you were to kidnap Sita from this Rama, then Rama would automatically be weakened. And because his heart is centered with her, so he will automatically weaken. When he's at the weakened state, then you can go and attack him. Then it is so easy to go ahead and kill Rama. Ravana says, wow, Akampan, your idea has wonderful merit. I'm going to take this into due consideration. Then he rushes to Maricha. Maricha is his uncle. Maricha is Tataka's son. And Maricha was one of the demons whom Rama did not want to kill when he wanted to when he was asked to protect the sacrifice of sage Vishwamitra. So Maricha, okay. So Ravana comes to Maricha, says, "Hey Maricha, I want your help to kidnap Sita." Maricha says, no, Ravana, let's not do that. You have plenty of wives. Ravana had more than 1,000 wives, by the way. And you have plenty of wives. You don't need another one. And he's successful in dissuading Ravana, and Ravana goes back. Did you see why it is poetic justice that Hanuman killed Akampan? Because Akampana was the first person to plant the seed in Ravana's brain that it's a good idea to kidnap Sita Ma. Because of that, she endured so much of sorrow for 1 year in Ashok Vatika. Hanuman went over and he gave her Ramayana and he gave her lots of hope and everything. But that is not the end. Hanuman's name is Janaki Shokanashanam, the one who destroys the sorrow of Janaki, that is Mother Sita. So what does he do? That immediate concern was, Sita Ma was very sad. So he gave Ramanama, he spoke about Lord Rama, he gave Rama's Pujrika, he did all of that and made sure that she is feeling fine, she's feeling protected, she knows that Rama is on the way. He gives her hope, but he doesn't stop over there. He destroys the person who planted this seed, who planted this idea in Ravana. Akampan was the one who said, oh, go ahead and destroy Sita. I'm sorry, go ahead and kidnap Sita. And therefore, this will be very easy for you to destroy Rama this way. Hanuman goes ahead and kills the person who wanted to cause Sita Ma so much of sorrow. He kills him. And it is so beautiful. The way we learn Ramayana is that we should understand multiple nuances. We should have the ability to see how all the dots are connected. And then we can understand how much thought, how many things the Lord takes care of in every single activity, how many things he takes care of. It's amazing. And not just the Lord's bhaktas, they will do anything for the Lord. Even if it means, killing those Rakshasa who caused so much of sorrow for Mother Sita. He does that. But anyway, we will talk about that in Yuddhakand. But please remember, Akampan was the one who planted this idea in Ravana's brain. Then fine. Then Shurpanakha comes over. She's, she is completely, noseless and earless, and she says that, Ravana, you are very busy in sensual pleasures, and you don't even realize that your outpost in Janasthana is completely vanquished. What on earth are you doing? Says, okay, can you tell me what is Rama's power, Lakshmana's power, and all the weapons with which he destroyed Khara, Dusha, and Trishira? And Shurpanakha says all of these things, and she says Sita's beauty is so great that the person that she embraces will live with more opulence than Indra. So amazing that just after killing Khara, Dusha, and Trishira and the 14,000 Rakshasas, Sita Ma embraces Lord Rama. And Valmiki has made a point to note that. She embraced the Lord. Over here, Shurpanakha says that the person that Sita Ma willingly, lovingly, sweetly embraces, that person will live in more opulence than Indra. See, Sita Ma, when she is with Rama, she is the sweetest, most auspicious fountain of all wealth. She is the best of the best. Move her away from Sita, from Lord Rama, She is Kalaratri, she is referred to as Kalaratri, she is referred to as the five-hooded snake, she is referred to as Yampash, she is referred to as the fire of dissolution, etc. So we should never worship only Lakshmi. We should always worship Lakshmi Narayana. We should never worship only Sita Ma. We should always say Sita and Rama. It's never just Radharani. It's always Radha and Krishna. We should never worship one without the other. It's always combined Yugal Murti. That is what we should worship. Sita Ma, the descriptions that are given about her when she's away from Lord Rama, when she's deliberately kept from Lord Rama, it's very frightening. It's very frightening. Is this the same sweet, tender Sita Ma that they're talking about? This is what we will think. Because Sita Ma is like that when she is with Rama. Okay, so Ravana sends all his counselors away, and then he says, okay, fine. The best course is for us to kidnap Sita, and so that this is going to weaken Rama. So he stops by Maricha's ashram. So once again, Maricha says, you just left. What happened? Why did you come back again so quickly? Says Ravana says, Maricha, my cousins in Janasthana are dead. Khara, Dushana, and Trishira are Ravana's cousins, by the way. Not his own brothers, but they are his male cousins. So is there? I need to. I need to make sure that Khara, Dushana, and Trishira and mutilation of Shurpanakha, they're all avenged. And for that, the best recourse is to kidnap Sita. And I want you to take the form of an illusory deer. Sita will be enticed. And because of that, Rama and Lakshmana will run to hunt the deer. And then I can go ahead and kidnap Sita. Maricha says, oh, Ravana, you don't know who this Rama is. As soon as he hears the name Rama, Maricha is stricken with fear. He said, Maricha says, Rama and Sita are as inseparable as sun and sunshine. This same thing is mentioned 4 times in Valmiki Ramayana. One is Maricha, the next is by Trijata, the third is by Sitama, and the fourth is by Lord Rama himself. So they are as inseparable as sun and sunshine. And therefore, do not try to separate Rama and Sita. And he says that nearly 25 years ago, they were protecting the yajna of sage Vishwamitra, and Rama's arrow was so powerful that I was thrown in the ocean 100 yojanas away from the sacrificial spot. And then he mentions that there is another time. This was during Aranya Kanda itself. He and 2 other Rakshasas, so 3 of them had assumed the form of hideous stags, and they frightened hermits. So Rama dispatched 3 arrows against the 3 Rakshasas. Maricha ran away. So the arrow did not affect him, but the other 2 were killed. They did not run away. Because Rama's arrows, as I've mentioned before, the Lord doesn't kill an enemy who is fleeing. He doesn't kill that enemy. And the arrows of Lord Rama are also persons. So they understand the mood of the Lord. They understand the commands of the Lord. So if the Lord says, do not kill a fleeing person, so even after he has discharged that arrow, it doesn't mean that the arrow will have to find a mark and then come back. They don't do that. Rama's arrows, okay, Rama doesn't want, okay, this goes against Rama's wishes. So this person is fleeing, even if they are mid-air, okay, this person is fleeing. I'm not going to harm them. I'm just going to return. As simple as that. So we can see, yes, Rama is an archer. Yes, Ravana was also a very valiant warrior. But there are differences that very clearly show that we are talking about the Supreme Lord. He is not just a human being. He is the Supreme Lord, because only the Supreme Lord will have such power. Nobody else can wield this sort of power. So since then, Maricha has been afraid of Rama. He sees Rama everywhere. Api Rama Sahasrani Bhitaga Pashyami Ravana Rama Bhutam Idam Sarvam Aranyam Prabhibhati me. Idam Sarvam Aranyam. The entire forest is filled with Rama. Even in a place that is devoid of Rama, I can see only him. He enters even my dream. And in my dream, I jolt and I swoon. Ramam eva hi pashyami rahite Rakshaseshwara. Rakshaseshwara is obviously Ravana, the head of Rakshasas. Drishtva swapnakatam Rama brahmamami vichetanaha. Brahmamami, that means that I am completely discombobulated. I'm completely frazzled, because the Rama is there even in my dreams. Somehow or the other, he enters my dream. And then he says, for us, what we need Ra and Ma together to think about Lord Rama. But Maricha was much above us. He says, by just thinking of the word Ra or any other ordinary word that starts with R, such as Ratha or Ratna. Ratha means chariot and Ratna means jewel. So in Sanskrit, Ratha and Ratna are for chariot and jewel respectively. So as soon as he hears the words starting with R, he's afraid, because he is reminded of Rama. Rakara adini namani Rama trastasya Ravana ratnani cha rathaha cha eva vitrasam janayanti me. Ratnani cha rathaha cha. So even the words starting with Ra also give me great fear. So basically, Maricha was somewhat like Kamsa. So Kamsa also said that, I see Krishna everywhere in my sleep, while I'm drinking, while I'm eating, whatever I'm doing, I can see nothing but Krishna, 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 Krishna. I can see Krishna, 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 Krishna. So this is trying to get to the Lord through the mood of Bhayanaka, through the mood of fear. This is one of the 7 negative ways in which one can connect with the Lord. It's always good to connect with the Lord in a positive way. There's through Shantarasa or Dasirasa or Sakhya or Vatsalya Rasa or Madhurya. It is always good to do that through positive ways, but there are negative ways as well. And one such negative way is Bhayanaka, or fear. And in the 7th canto, 1st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 1st chapter, King Yudhishthira asks this question to sage Narada, and Narada Muni explains this. So we don't know what sort of moksha Maricha received. That is not very clearly mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. But Kamsa, who is in a similar platform, I'm not saying the same, Kamsa, who was in a similar platform, did get Sarupa Siddhi. This is mentioned in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He got Sarupa Siddhi. So he got the form similar to that of Lord Narayana, and he went off to Vaikuntha. But we don't know if Maricha also got the same thing. I'm just saying that this is what Kamsa, who had who was attracted to the Lord in the mood of fear, this is the siddhi that he got. Then now Maricha's words are very beneficial to Ravana, but he doesn't like them, and therefore he says, you either take a form of a deer and lure Rama and Lakshmana away, or I'm going to kill you right now. So Maricha says, Ravana, what you're doing is wrong. It is not the duty of a king to torment his citizens. I am your citizen as well. I am your uncle. And Rama is the supreme lord. So if you seek enmity with Lord Rama, you're not going to be beneficial to your citizens. It's not going to be beneficial to you. And abduction of Sita is going to destroy the entire Rakshasa army. But Ravana reiterates, you either take the form of a deer. Now, let me be very clear. You either take a form of the deer or you're going to suffer right now. I'm going to kill you right away. So Maricha says, I don't want to die at your hands. I will die at the hands of Lord Rama. I'll die at the hands of Lord Rama. You want me to be an illusory deer? Fine, go ahead. So they sit on the Vimana and they reach the vicinity of Lord Rama's ashram. So Maricha turns into a deer of extraordinary beauty. By the way, it's not just a golden deer. The tip of the horns shine like emeralds. The mouth is lovely as lotus. Ears like color of blue lily. Lips like kunda flower. Sides like maduka flower. So maduka flowers are like pale yellow. It's very beautiful. Hooves are like rubies. The tail colors of the rainbow. He darts back and forth in front of Sitama, and she says it's so beautiful. So now we think Sita Ma, yes, we know that Lord Rama is Narayana. We know that Sita Ma is Mahalakshmi. So why is the goddess of all wealth hankering after one illusory deer? Why is she hankering after an illusory deer? She is the wife of the master of all illusions. She is the wife of Mayapati. Mayapati, any illusion we can think of, the source of everything is coming from one person. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, matta sarvam pravartate, janmadi yasya yataha. He is the source of everything. So illusions are also coming from Lord Narayana. It's also coming from Krishna, also coming from Rama. So being his wife, how could she be so foolish as to be enamored of one illusory deer, which is indeed a Rakshasa who has just changed his form? How could she do this? Any ideas? Now, okay, so I'm just going to continue because I didn't receive a response. The thing is that she is not at all foolish. Sita Ma, she is the goddess of all wealth. She can recognize what is true and what is false. She is the wife of all, she is the wife of the master of all illusion. She can recognize what is true and what is false. So, thinking that she was foolish enough to be swept away by some magical, illusory deer is nothing but our own foolishness. Just because we would be enamored of something, shiny, because we are all like magpies, right? So just because we would be enamored of something shiny and pretty doesn't mean that Sita Ma would also be as fallible as all of that. She says, Aryaputra, Abhiramo asya mrigo harati te manaha. Okay, fine. Aryaputra, that means, oh, son of the nobleman. Nobleman is Dashrata, Putra means son. So we are talking about King Dashrata's son, Lord Rama. Abhiramo. Abhiramo means it is enchanted. So mrigo, that mriga means that deer. Harati te manahar. It has stolen my heart. Harati means it has stolen. Ane ena mahabaho. Oh Mahabaho, that means the one with very mighty arms. Kridartham na bhavishyati. Kridha. Kridha means for play. Artham means this is the purpose for which we will use it. Bhavishyati. Let us do that. This is what we should do. So it's very clear. Look at the word Kridartham. Kridartham means it is going to, this deer is going to be ideal for us to play with. So Sita Ma over here is actually indicating to Lord Rama, let us use this deer. This deer thought that this Rakshasa thought that he can, he can change his form and try to steal our hearts. And he is so beautiful that he has stolen my heart. But let us use him to further our play. This is all a play. Rama Leela. It is Rama Krida. It is all Leela. It is a play. It is a pastime. Let us use this deer to further our own pastimes. It's not that, oh, let us just capture this deer and we cannot play with it. No, we will use this deer to further our pastimes. This is the meaning. Sita Ma is highly intelligent. Sita Ma is Mahabhaga. She is the most fortunate of all women. So if she is the most fortunate, she is not going to run behind something else for fortune. Everyone goes to Sita Ma for fortune. She is not going to run to someone else for it. So therefore, she is saying, Kridartham naha bhavishyati. Oh, Mahabaho. Why is she using the term Mahabaho? Oh, Rama of powerful hands. Because it is with those hands that he has to capture this mriga. She is saying, Rama, with these hands, capture this deer, and then there are many more pastimes for us to do, wherein you will have to use your beautiful, strong hands. So, what are the other pastimes? It's the war, the major war. Obviously, for the war, the Lord has to use his two hands. Obviously, he has to do that. So, Mahabaho Kridartham na bhavishyati. So, this is the key point. The key point, even if you forget everything else that we have spoken today, remember this one thing. Sita Ma is not enamored of a deer, so much so that she loses touch of reality. No, she's just saying it so that they are going to use that very deer that came to spoil everything. They're going to use that deer for furthering their own play, for furthering their own pastimes. She says, Rama, you kill it. So now everyone, and then she gives, people in Ayodhya would be happy to see it. And then if you have to kill it, it will make an excellent deer skin. It's so beautiful. Let's just go for it. And then Rama says, if this is a demon, if this is a Rakshasa, it is still imperative for me to destroy it. If it is a Rakshasa, I promise to say this, I'll kill all the Rakshasas. Lo and behold, it's my turn to do that. But if it is, so it's a win-win situation throughout. Significance. Mother Lakshmi does not need anything. She tells Rama that the very deer that was sent to lure them shall be used by them to fulfill their role of killing the demons, which is but a play. It is just a play for them. She is not an ordinary woman to be enchanted by material illusions. She is the wife of the master of all illusions. One of the names of Lord Narayana is Mayapati. He is the master of all illusions. And therefore, she says, she plays a part. She says that this deer is very charming, it's very beautiful, it's very enchanting, blah, blah, blah. But the whole point is that she wants to use that very deer to further their pastimes. Oh, sorry. So Rama asks Lakshmana to guard Sita very carefully. He picks up his mighty bow, slings his quiver and sword, begins to chase the deer, and Maricha runs hither and thither and takes Rama away and away from the hermitage and deeper into the forest. And then he uses a Brahmastra or a Brahmastra-like arrow, shoots it at Maricha, and it tears his heart, and he immediately assumes the form of his original Rakshasa form. At the end of his life, he changes his voice to shout, "Ha Sita, ha Lakshmana." Immediately, Rama knows that Sita Ma's life is in danger, and he rushes towards the ashrama. He just says, "Ha Sita, ha Lakshmana." So Maricha, at the very end of his life, he thought about two great bhaktas of the Lord, extremely great bhaktas of the Lord. He thought about Rama's wife Sita Ma and Rama's brother, or his, the close brother, whom he himself has called Dvitiya Antaratma. He thinks about Lakshmana and Sita Ma, and this is how he dies. So usually, Krishna also says, Yamyam vapi smaran bhavam tyajanam ante kalevaram. So whatever we think of at the time of death, that's what we will become after we die. So Jada Bharat thought about his baby fawn before he died, and therefore in the next Janma he became a deer. So we know that. So, and because our history books have said that this is what has happened. So Krishna has given the theory, and Srimad Bhagavatam and a couple of other Puranas have all mentioned about Jada Bharat, and they have said, okay, so this is the theory, this is the example. This person, Jada Bharat, the son of Rishabhadev, he thought of a deer, a sweet little deer before he died, and he became a deer in the next Janma. And when we die thinking of bhaktas, we will not become the bhakta, but we will go to the loka where that bhakta exists. So remember this key point. We will reiterate this during Shabari Moksham. Now, one question might arise. Maricha said, "Oh, ha Lakshman, ha Sita." He uttered in Rama's voice, and then he died. Rama knew that something terrible is going to happen. Why didn't he just shout back, "Sita, Lakshmana, it's not me. It is Maricha. I'm safe. Don't worry." Why didn't he shout? Because first of all, he is not a demon. Demons have very loud voices, so he's not a demon. But fine, if he had just used his godly potency as well, why didn't he do it? Because he was acting in the realm of a Kshatriya, and a Kshatriya does not really do things like this. There is the Kshatriya pride. And he has to, it's not that the Lord is proud, but it is unseemly behavior for a Kshatriya to do that. It is unseemly. Now, Sita hears the piteous cry of her husband, And then she says that, oh, Lakshmana, I think that a whole lot of Rakshasas must have just surrounded Rama, and they must have just they must be just torturing him. Please go and please save your dear brother. Lakshmana says, my dear mother, Rama has asked me not to leave you. I cannot leave. So now Sita is very angry. She says, Lakshmana, you are a traitor. Maybe you are wishing that Rama dies so that you can have me as your wife. Icchase tvam vinashyantam Rama Lakshmana mat krite. For my sake, mat krite, lobhatu mat kritam nunam anugachasi raghavam. I am never going to come to anyone other than Lord Rama. So Icchasi, this vinashyantam, that means that you're hoping for Rama's destruction so that you can get me. Lakshmana replies, Rama is very powerful, and all the strength of cannot stand against Rama. This is not Rama's voice, this is Maricha's voice. Rama has given me one order. I cannot leave you, I cannot abandon you. And I will not disobey you. I will not go. Sita gets very angry. She says, how long have you been waiting for this chance? How long have you been waiting? After all, you are Kaikeyi's co-wife's son. So one co-wife sent us all into the forest. Maybe another co-wife is just trying to wait for Rama's destruction so that you can get me. So how long have you been doing this? Maybe you are an emissary of Bharata. I have no life other than Rama. Lakshmana does not take offense. He says that you are like my mother, and your unseemly words do not sound good to you or to me. And okay, so many people have asked me, did Sita Ma actually speak like this to Lakshmana? Doesn't she know who Lakshmana is? Did Sita Ma speak like this? Obviously, because Valmiki has given the verse and the chapter number and everything. She did speak. And Valmiki has said something, it is indeed true. But isn't Sita Ma very sweet-spoken and everything? Yeah, she is. Definitely. Then why did she speak like this to Lakshmana? Now we're coming to the question. It's not a question of whether she spoke like this or not, but it's a question of why she spoke like this. There's a question of why. Because we know that she spoke like this. We have the verse over here. Valmiki has mentioned this. And so we know that Valmiki's words are true. So she has spoken this. Why? Because we have already seen that Sita Ma has a greater insight into Rama's than anybody else. The example given was during the time of exile. Nobody else could detect that something was seriously wrong. Rama was perfectly tranquil, perfectly calm. He was perfectly in equilibrium. There was no change in his countenance whatsoever. So nobody realized that Rama was just coming out of Dashratha's palace, hearing the news that he's not going to be crowned the king, but far from it, he has to go and spend 14 years in the forest. Nobody could recognize that there was something untoward. Lakshmana, on the other hand, was hissing like a snake. He was very sad. He was crying, even though he didn't really say anything. But when they looked at Rama's face, nobody could make anything out. Nobody except Sita Ma. When Sita Ma saw Rama's face, she knew that something was terribly wrong. She knew that something was terribly wrong, and she asked it. So this is one of the many proofs. Another proof is that in Balakand, Valmiki has said that antargata, whatever is in their inside, deep within themselves, they can communicate it hridaya hridaya. They can just speak with their hearts. They don't even have to verbalize anything. They can just speak with their hearts. So Sita Ma has a greater insight into Rama's pastimes, Rama's necessities and everything more than anybody else put together. And right now, Lakshmana's firm adherence to his brother's word was actually hindering Rama's pastime. Because Lakshmana had to leave. Lakshmana had to go. That was the only way. And because if Lakshmana had continued to stay there, and if Ravana had just gotten impatient and he had come in there, Lakshmana, he's also the Supreme Lord. He's just as capable of killing Ravana as Lord Rama. He's just as capable. But that was not his task to do. He was supposed to kill Atikai and Indrajit. And that's exactly what he does in Yuddhakand. It's Rama who kills Kumbhakarna and Ravana. But could Lakshmana have killed Ravana? Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Because he is also the Supreme Lord. He can obviously kill Ravana. But would that have furthered the Lord's pastime? No. Because where are the Vanaras? We need to make sure that the Vanaras are also in the play. So right now, it's not as if Lakshmana can just say, okay, Hanuman, Sugriva, all of you come and help. It's not like that. That Kishkinda Kand has not yet taken place. Therefore, Sita Ma knew that she had to send Lakshmana away. The only thing that Lakshmana would take offense to is this dialogue. Ramam Lakshmana mat krite. That's the only thing that she could have said that would have pushed Lakshmana over the edge. Because in the Vedic culture, a man doesn't even look at another man's wife. We know that example we will see one example of that in Kishkinda Kand. I'm not going to reveal it right now. We will look at it tomorrow. But actually, there are two different examples in Kishkinda Kand. But anyway, Lakshmana does not even look at another man's wife. Not just Sita Ma, but anyone's wife, he will not look at her. This is Lakshmana. He's so perfect a gentleman. By the way, Rama is also like that. He won't look at someone else's wife. And this is also mentioned in Kishkinda Kand. So this is what an ideal Vedic man should be like. Not even look at another man's wife. And now, if such a person who is such a perfect gentleman is accused of harboring feelings for his older brother's wife, it's a huge slap in the face. It's a huge slap in the face. And Lakshmana would not be able to tolerate this. That's why he says, it doesn't befit you or me that you're speaking words like this. It's not nice. It's not nice. Lakshmana says it. And then he goes. Sita Ma did speak such words because she wants to make sure that the Lord's pastimes are furthered. We are not in that level. It's not as if the Lord particularly comes to us and reveals a mood of his that nobody else can ever determine. We are not in that level. We don't love Rama the way Sita Ma loves Rama. We are not in the Madhurya Rasa, where this is not the prescribed mood for us. For us, the prescribed mood is to be the servant of the servant of the servant. We are not meant to be in the Madhurya Rasa with the Lord. It's not what the Acharyas have prescribed. And therefore, it does not behoove us to speak like this to a Vaishnava. No doubt, Lakshmana is a great Vaishnava. It does not behoove us to speak like this to a Vaishnava. But Sita Ma is in a different category. So the only thing that we can follow over here is Sita Ma will do everything for the Lord. She doesn't care about herself. She will do everything for the Lord. And that's it. Similarly, we should not be worried about our own comfort and whether it is going to give me a lot of praise or something like that. But I should be worried about what can I do to serve the Lord. That is what I should be worried about. Well, what more should I do to serve the Lord? Maybe if I were to sleep maybe 1 hour less, I might be able to do something more. Maybe if I were to stop my meals within 30 minutes instead of 45 minutes, maybe I can take those extra 15 minutes and maybe I can do something more. Maybe I can read one more chapter in Valmiki Ramayana. This is what we should be thinking about. This is what we should be doing. This is not a call for us to be rude to Vaishnavas, because let's not forget, Vaishnava Aparadh is absolutely a big no-no. Rama will tolerate anything from us, but he will never tolerate a Vaishnava Aparadh. He will never do that. He will never tolerate a Vaishnava Aparadh. Okay, so now let's go back. Lakshmana then calls the various beings in the forest as witness and said, I have never swerved from the path of righteousness, but I will go to Rama. First time I'm disobeying Rama because I have to obey the commands of my bhabi, my sister-in-law. Everyone, please protect Sita. He calls the spirits of the forest, please protect Sita. But I don't know if I will see her again. And he just walks out. Sita Ma is in tears. Lakshmana tries to console her. He says, you're still slow. You go, you go, you go. And that's it. Here, consistently, he calls Sita Ma as Vishalakshi and Vaidehi. Vishalakshi means she has broad eyes, but the broad eyes doesn't just mean broad eyes, With those broad eyes, she's able to see further into the future, and therefore she can understand the necessity for him to go away from the hermitage. She is able to understand that. Vaidehi, because King Janaka is also known as the king of Videhas, and he's not attached to his own self. Sita Ma is not attached to her own comforts, but put herself in harm's way to make sure that Lord Rama gets the glory of protecting her and finally killing her abductor. Therefore, he calls it as Vaidehi. So in both these cases, Lakshmana is well aware, okay, Sita Ma is doing this to further the Lord's pastimes. And it's mentioned that he knows that he's not going to see her when he returns. He knows that. Anyway, by the way, did anyone notice that there was no Lakshman Rekha mentioned in here?
Ji, actually, Lakshman Rekha comes in Ramcharitmanas, Ji.
No, it doesn't come even in Ramcharitmanas. In Aranya Kanda, even Ramcharitmanas does not really say anything. In Yuddha Kanda, in Ramcharitmanas, Mandodari tells Ravana that he was not able to cross the line that was carved out by Rama's younger brother. But we know that Ramcharitmanas is not bona fide, so it doesn't have any basis on any of the Puranas. It's definitely not based on Valmiki Ramayana. It doesn't have any basis on the Puranas either. So we'll have to forget that. And Lakshman Rekha is a big hoax. It was the origin of Lakshman Rekha was in Kritiva's Ojha's Ramayana, and it is one of the most blasphemous statements against Sita Ma. Sita Ma doesn't need a lesson on Maryada. She is the wife of Maryada Purushottam. Sita and Rama are not different. So if a person thinks that Sita Ma crossed a line, will that person think that Rama crossed a line? Can Rama ever go against Maryada? Will Rama ever do that? No. So if Rama won't do that, neither would Sita Ma. Because Sita and Rama are the same. Sita Ma is the internal potency of Lord Rama. So why would Sita Ma require, she is the wife of Maryada Purushottam, why would she need a lesson in Maryada? This regional versions of Ramayana, the biggest mistake is that they changed Valmiki Ramayana to suit the needs of that time. And maybe when this fellow wrote his version of Ramayana, women were not being very Vedic, and they were just running about here and there, maybe. And therefore he said, oh, this was the consequence, Sita Ma crossed the line and this was the consequence, she was kidnapped. It's all absolute bogus. Absolute bogus. It's just a figment of someone's imagination. It has got no basis in Shastras. A figment of someone's imagination is wrong. When we speak, that's why whenever I put in main things, I always have the quote mentioned over here. So you know exactly, this is the 3rd canto, 45th chapter, the 6th verse. You know it. I always put in the quote because this is not me. I'm just copying what Valmiki has said. I've done some paraphrasing, of course, but I've just translated a little bit, done some paraphrasing, but it's not me. It's all copied word to word from not word to word. It's condensed from Valmiki Ramayana. Regional versions do not have this luxury. So therefore, Lakshman Rekha is a huge blasphemous statement against Sita Ma. So please do not believe in such things. Please do not believe in it. Maryada Purushottam's wife does not need a lesson in Maryada. She doesn't need one. There is never a line that Sita Ma ever crosses. Never. Okay. So Lakshmana just leaves, and then what happens? Ravana draws near. He's in the garb of an ascetic. Winds dare not move. The trees dare not move. Wind is silent. Godavari is still because the terrible lord of the Rakshasas is close by. Sita Ma is sitting all by herself in the hermitage. And Ravana has never laid his eyes on a more radiant beauty than Mother Sita. He says, Kvatam Kanchana Varnabhe Pita Kausheya Vasini Kamalanam Shubham Malam Padmini Ivacha Bibhrati. You, Kvatam Kanchana Varnabhe, who are you who glitters like gold? Pita Kausheya Vasini, you're wearing yellow robes. Yellow silk, So once again, it's not ascetic robes. She's wearing yellow silk robes. Chirau means bark of robes. So that's the word for ascetic robes. So Kausheya means it's silk. So Pita Kausheya Vasani, who looks like a delicate creeper. Kamalanam Shubham Malam is like a delicate garland of Padmini, of lotus flowers. Ivacha Bibrati. So it's Padmini means it's like it's lotus, and you're so tender. You're looking like a delicate creeper amongst the garland of lotus flowers. So Sita Ma was wearing lotus flowers on that day. So this is how it is. So over here, Sita Ma answers this question. Who are you? That is a Kanchana Varnabhe. Kanchana Varnabhe. Remember this word. Ravana asks Sita Ma, who are you? Who is as golden, the one who glitters like gold. And Sita Ma answers over here, I'm the daughter of King Janaka, I'm married to Rama, blah, 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 blah. She goes on. But the true answer to this is given in Sundarakand. The true answer to this statement, who is this person who glitters like molten gold? Kanchana Varanabe, who is this person? What is the identity of this person who glitters like molten gold? This we will see only in Sundarakand. We will not see it here. Sita Ma is not going to toot her own horn. She's not going to continuously praise herself. We will see who she is in Sundarakand. So she says, why are you here? What are you doing in the forest? And she says, okay, I'll give you dinner and everything. And she says that she is the daughter of Janaka, married to Rama. They spent 12 happy years in the forest. And when she was 25 and when he was 25, when she was 18, that's when they came to the forest. So this way we can understand that Rama was 13 years old and Sita Ma was 6 years when they got married. And they were 18 and 25 respectively when they went to the forest as well. And for the past several years, they've been roaming the forest. The false hermit says, I am the lord of the Rakshasas and I want you to be my mate queen. And Sita Ma is angry. She says that Rama is crowned with every noble perfection. And just as how a jackal cannot raise his eyes to a lioness, just as how one cannot touch sunshine, you are not even worthy of looking at me. It's very necessary for us to understand why she calls herself as sunshine, because she repeatedly says that she is sunshine, Rama is the sun. So we've already mentioned that there are 4 people who said the same thing. So in the analogy, Sita Ma is the sunshine. So she is Sprashtam Adityasya Prabha. Prabha means sunshine. Adityasya means of Aditya. Aditya means the sun. Of Sprashtam means to touch. You cannot touch the sunshine of the sun. It's not possible. So like that, you're not even worthy of looking at me. Okay, and he says your end is near. So, and you will see golden trees. So the trees of gold are, that's what we see in hellish condition. And your life is like Kalakuta, or like it's licking the blade of sword. And there's a world of difference. And she compares very beautifully. She compares Rama and Ravana. So Rama is a lion, Ravana is a jackal. Rama is the ocean, Ravana is a dirty stream. Rama is a sweet beverage and Ravana is a foul vinegar. Rama is molten gold, Ravana is dull lead. Rama is sandalwood paste, Ravana is slimy mire. Rama is Garuda, Ravana is crow. Rama is peacock, Ravana is an ugly waterfowl. Rama is a lordly swan and Ravana is the bald vulture. And Ravana goes ahead and talks about his wonderful lineage. I'm the son of Vishrava. My grandfather is Pulastya. My older brother is Kubera. And I stole Lanka from him. And all the devatas are afraid of me. Wind dare not blow. The sun dare not scorch me. Leaves dare not rustle. The rivers dare not gush. And he is talking about his opulence to the goddess of all opulence. This is the foolishness of Rama. And she said, how can you waste your life with a puny little mortal? He went to the forest because one woman ordered him to do so. He has zero Paurusham. So is this the person that you want to be with? And I, myself, the Lord of Rakshasas is speaking you out. Sita Ma gets immensely angry. You are just like worthless grass. How is it that Kubera had a brother like you? And because of you, all the Rakshasas are doomed. Even kidnapping Indrani is not going to be so detrimental as you kidnapping me. That means that Rama is much above Indra. Not even ambrosia or nectar would be able to save you. Then he takes his original terrible form, as we see over here. Maybe as trying to impress Sita Ma with his looks, says, you better accept me. And then with his left hand, he touches her hair. Murdhajeshu karena saha. And with his right hand, he places places urva to dakshinena. So dakshinena means south. Urva means thighs. So he's placing the hand behind her thighs, behind her knees, and he lifts Sitama up. Now everyone is running back and forth, and he puts her on the chariot. He lifts her by the legs and places her in the chariot. Sitama is crying, Lakshmana, Rama, Lakshmana, Rama. She is crying to the trees. Trees, tell Rama that I have been kidnapped. She cries to the mountains, tell the mountains, tell Rama that I have been kidnapped. Godavari, the spirit of the trees, creatures of the forest, she tell. Finally, she sees Jatayu and says, please find Rama and Lakshmana. She never asked Jatayu to fight. She asked Jatayu to only see Rama and Lakshmana and inform them that she has been kidnapped. Jatayu wakes up from his sleep, and from his holy perch, he says, Ravana, what are you doing? Sita is Rama's beloved wife. Shipram Visarjam Vaidehi, let go of her this instant, or else Rama is going to burn you down. And he says, don't you realize that Sita is the deadliest of serpents and Yama's noose? So Kalapasham means it's Yama's noose. Don't you realize? Sarpam Ashvisham Badva. Sarpam means serpent. Don't you realize that this is who she is? So without Rama, Sitama is deadliest of serpent, and she is the Yama's noose. Jatayu has no weapons, but he has only his talons and his beak, and he's 60,000 years old. Can you name another Bhakta who was 60,000 years old in Valmiki Ramayana?
It was Jatayu, Mataji. Oh, no, sorry. Not Jatayu, Dashrath, Mataji.
Yes, that is correct. So both Jatayu and Dashratha were both 60,000 years old when they died. So Ravana, comparatively you're young, but I will still win. I will still wage this war against you, and Rama will kill Ravana in battle. What does this mean? He says that Rama yudhi vadishyati. In battle, vadishyati means kill. Rama is going to kill you in battle. This means that Jatayu knew that he will not be able to kill Ravana. Because if he's able to kill Ravana, then that means that there is no need for Rama to wage the battle. So he knew that he will not be able to kill Ravana. He knew that he will die in that, or he will be brutally murdered in that process. Because it's not as if Ravana is going to be very noble and just say, shoot, and just get out. It's not going to be like that. He's going to be brutally murdered. Jatayu knew this. And yet, he continues on because he will do what? He says that as long as he is alive, I will not allow you to take Rama's beloved wife. And I owe this much to my friend Dashratha and to his son Rama. See, Jatayu, how did he get so attached to Rama? Because Rama is attached to Dashratha, Jatayu is attached to Dashratha, hence Jatayu is attached to Rama. So Jatayu's connection to Rama, the mood with which he saw Rama was through the eyes of another Bhakta, that is Dashrath. And therefore, what mood with which Dashratha saw Rama? Dashrata always saw Rama through the mood of Vatsalya, because he loved Rama, the Supreme Lord, as a son. So Jatayu says, I will do this for my friend. So friends, they were like almost like brothers, and his son. So like Rama is like my son. So I will do this for Dasharatha and for Rama. I'm going to do this. And Jatayu's words inflame Rama. He flings, he puts one arrow after the other. Jatayu shatters them all with his wings, and then he lacerates Ravana with his huge talons. He cuts the magic armor, he destroys the bows and arrows, and then he kills the mules, and then with his beak, he just tears away the head of the charioteer. Then, okay, without the charioteer, what is going to fly? Ravana leaps to the ground, and then he sees that Jatayu, he's like 60,000 years old, he's very tired. So then Ravana once again springs in the air, and Jatayu claws Ravana's back. And then he chops off the 10 hands of Ravana. I couldn't find a picture with all 10 hands of Ravana. I wish I could. But he chops off the 10 hands, and they regenerate. And after 1 hour of fierce fight, Ravana chops off the pinions and the feet of Jatayu. Imagine for a bird not to have wings, and for a bird to lose the feet. It can neither fly nor can it stand, and blood is just pouring out, and he fell to the ground in agonies of death. Ravana is extremely happy. Obviously, he was such a sadistic person. He was extremely happy. Sita is overwhelmed with grief. She runs to Jatayu and she embraces him. By the way, Jatayu is the only bhakta where it is very clearly mentioned, received hugs from both Sita and from Lord Rama. So Rama hugs Guha, he hugs Bharata, he hugs Hanuman, obviously. He hugs multiple people, but Jatayu is the only person who received hugs from both Sita and from Lord Rama. And so Jatayu, you can see, was in a completely different realm of bhaktas altogether. Completely different realm. And he is not just an ordinary carnivorous bird. And she says, "Oh Rama, if only you knew what state I'm in. All the animals, all the creatures of the forest are running towards you to tell you of my kidnap, and Jatayu sacrifices his life for my sake. Oh Rama, oh Lakshmana." And Ravana tears her away from Jatayu, and she rides on the ground. He snatches her, he catches her by her hair, he lifts her up, and he takes it. All animate and inanimate creatures, they're all miserable. How could someone be so cruel to Sita? But Brahma says, yes, the Lord has achieved his purpose. Kritam karyam iti Shriman Vyajahara Pitamaha. Kritam karyam, this is done. And prakrishta vyatita sarve parama rashayaha. So the result of this kidnap is the destruction of Ravana, and that is going to be very pleasing to all the rishis. That is going to be very pleasing to everyone. So it is very necessary for us to remember that Rama has not even met Ravana. But even before that, Brahma says that Ravana is killed. The Lord has already achieved the purpose. Ravana is already dead. We have to remember this. When we go to Yuddhakand, and we will see Brahma's prayers in Yuddhakand, he uses a word, Lord Rama. Maybe I can just give you a sneak peek. It is known as Bhuta Bhavya Sapatnajit. Okay. Let's bear that in mind, and let's keep this one as a mental snapshot. And when we reach Yuddhakanda, maybe on the 3rd of January, we won't be able to reach this particular topic on the 3rd of Jan, but maybe on 4th or 5th of Jan we will. So let's just wait for that. The sages are crushed to see Sita Ma in this flight, in this plight. Sita Ma, Ravana looks like a dark cloud. Sita Ma is like a beautiful lightning, and away from Rama, she loses her radiance. Her beautiful face is now full of dust and tears. Flowers are raining from her. Anklets and chains slip away from her. The lotuses are lusterless. Fish and waterfall are silent. Lions, tigers, deer and birds are filled with fury. The sun is pale. Fawns scream. The spirits of the mountain, rivers, and forests quake with fear. All of these things happened when Sita Ma was kidnapped. When Sita Ma is forcibly separated from Lord Rama, is nothing but devastation. It is nothing but annihilation. Nothing but annihilation. And this is why always Sita and Rama together. Always worship Sita and Rama together. So Ravana does not pay any attention to all of this. Sita Ma's eyes are red with weeping. She accuses Ravana of being shameless in kidnapping her when Rama and Lakshmana were away from the cottage. And you said you wounded this old, feeble, innocent bird, Jatayu. Why did you boast of your wonderful lineage and your titles? Stole the wife of another, so you're just a sneaky little thief. And now your entire race is going to be annihilated. So without Rama, there is no life for Sita, and Yama is tightening his yampash around your neck. You will see Asipatra with a sword-leafed forest. You will see golden trees. This is the second time she says this. You will see Vaitarani. Vaitarani is a river full of blood. And this is, it's all hellish. You know, we will see what hell is all about. This is what Ravana is about to see. Sita Ma, then she sees 5 mighty monkeys sitting on top of the mountain. She gathers her ornaments. She tears a piece of a cloth and she wraps it around and she puts them in. Who are the 5 monkeys? We know that it's Sugriva, then Hanuman is there, Nala and Neela are there. Who is the 5th monkey?
Sushena, he's the father of Tara, I think.
Not Tara, he's the father. It's not Sushena. It's actually the monkey called Tara, who is the father of Ruma.
Yes.
Who is the father of Ruma. So we have one male monkey called Tara and a female monkey called Tara. The female monkey was the wife of Bali, who later on became the wife of Sugriva. And Ruma's father Tara was Sugriva's companion. Very mistakenly, people think that it was Jambavan, but Jambavan was actually in Bali's gang. Jambavan was in Bali's gang. Because even Bali had people who were very dharmic, who were very God-fearing as well. And Jambavan was in there. Jambavan did not spend time with Sugriva. But yet he was one of Sugriva's closest confidants as well later on. So, you know, but very good job, Mataji. You got the father-in-law part correct. You just made a small mistake with who it was, but it was Sugriva's father-in-law was the 5th monkey. And Lake Pampa comes into view, and you know, everyone warns Ravana that his death is near, but obviously he doesn't care. And Ravana enters the capital. He places Sita Ma in the rooms and she swoons away. And then he forces her to see his palaces, mansions, treasure chambers, pleasure gardens. You know, this is rare, this is wonderful, this is blah, blah, blah. But Sita Ma did not see anything because her eyes were brimming with tears. Ashra Purna Mukhim Deenan Shoka Bhara Avapiditan. So Ashra Purna Mukhim, her eyes were full of tears that she did not see anything. So it says that, what is Sita Ma teaching us here? If our eyes are full of tears of love for Lord Rama, We will not be enamored by the material opulence. If we are enamored by Maya, by material Maya, then that means that our eyes are not full of tears of love for Rama. That's it. It's very simple. It's very simple. Our eyes should be full of tears of love for Rama. And if they're not, then we will think, oh, this material world is so beautiful. Let me continue to live here. This pleasure is so wonderful. Let me continue to have it. So Sita Ma covers her face with garments. She sheds hot tears. And then Sita Ma takes one blade of grass. Trinam antarataha kritva. She takes one blade of grass between herself and Ravana. And then she talks about Rama's beauty and strength and adherence to dharma. And she says that Dasharatha, his father, was also like this. And Rama is his son. And Rama is a righteous soul. And this long-armed, broad-eyed God is my husband. Dirgha Bahu Vishalaksha Daivatam Sapati Mama. He is Dharmatma Trishu Lokesha Vishrutaha. All the three worlds know that Ramo Namatsa Dharmatma Trishu Lokesha Vishrutaha. The three worlds know that Rama is Dharmatma. Dirgha Bahu, long-armed, Vishalaksho, broad-eyed, Daivatam, this God. So she very clearly says that he's not ordinary. He's not a human being. She calls him as Daivatva. That is Pati Mama. That is my husband. So what is the underlying meaning? With that Dirgha Bahu, he is going to kill you. With that Vishalaksho, he is going to see all the torment that they are going to inflict on me. He is going to see it. And because he is Daivatam, he is going to make sure that justice is served. Because he is my Pati, because he is my Lord, I'm going to make sure that I further his pastimes. Why? Because Janaka had said, Sahadharma charitava pratichachena badramte vanim grahanishvapanina padaprita mahabhaga chayavangata sada. Iyam sita mama sita sahadharma charitava. So that's why she's using the word Dharmatma. Rama is Dharmatma. All of his activities are very dharmic. And I am here to support every single dharmic activity of Lord Rama. Is there any adharmic activity that he would perform? Absolutely not, because he is the avatar of all dharma. He is the incarnation of full dharma. He is dharmajna. He knows dharma. He is dharmavit. He is dharmajna. He is everything. So he is Dharmatma Trishu Lokesha Vishrutaha. Everyone in the three worlds knows that he is Dharmatma. He is a soul of Dharma. He is a very dharmic person. And I am here. That's why she uses the term Patihi. Once again, a reminder to the Balakand verse of Janaka when he gives Sita Ma's hand in marriage to Lord Rama. Sahadharma Charitava. She is going to participate in every single dharmic activity of yours. And so Sita Ma says, all I have to do is just wait over here and let the justice take place. Dirgha Bahu Vishalaksha Daivatam Sapati Mama. This is what she's saying. And she says, you are a Chandala. Can a Chandala approach a sacrificial altar? Can a waterfall approach a graceful swan? You're not even worthy of approaching me. See, Ravana is very furious and says, I'm going to give you exactly 12 months. If you don't accept me as your husband, then my Rakshasis are going to cook you for my breakfast. So this was Ravana's so-called love. So you better do my bidding. If you don't do it, you're going to be killed and I'm going to eat you up. So this was Ravana's love. And the Rakshasas seat Sita Ma in a beautiful Ashoka grove. And Sita Ma thinks only about Rama. This is the conclusion of the fourth topic. The fifth topic is the lament of Lord Rama. I think we may have to do moksha tomorrow, but I'll see how quickly we can do this. Lord Rama's bad omens. Lord Rama speeds back to the hermitage. He's certain that some great calamity has fallen Sita Ma because he sees terrible omens. He sees the howl of a jackal and his left arm and left chest, the left side of his chest begin to throb. So for a woman, the left side is auspicious. For a man, the right side is auspicious. So for a man, when the right eye throbs, that is very good. For a woman, when the left side throbs, that is very good. But over here, for Rama, the left side is throbbing, so we know that that is very bad. So when he sees Lakshmana approach, he very angrily asks, why did he leave Sita alone in the forest? Okay, so now a question might arise. Isn't it very simple? Lakshmana, when he left the hermitage, he could have just taken Sita Ma with him. And both of them together could have searched for Lord Rama, and it would have been so simple. But we forget that there is also a thing called perception. So Sita Ma is so dharmic that no one should even think that she's walking with her husband if she's walking with Lakshmana. Nobody should even think that, because that is also against her pativrata. So therefore, she doesn't walk with Lakshmana, or else it would have solved a lot of matters, obviously. But because Lakshmana is very perfect, he doesn't ask Sita Ma to accompany him. Because Sita Ma is very perfect, she doesn't say, Lakshmana, the best thing is both of us will go out and search for Rama together. She doesn't say that either. And therefore Sita Ma stays in the hermitage. And Rama is thinking maybe she has fallen prey to some rakshasas or wild beasts. Maybe the omens are not good. They're all crying and staring at the sun. Something is not right. I feel as if some vague fear is approaching me. Where is my Sita who is loftier than my life? Where is my Sita who is greater than my life? How can I fulfill my promise if my Sita is not with me? If Maricha's voice was so close to mine, and Sita Ma mistook Maricha's voice for mine, I'm sure that that's the reason why she sent you here. Maybe Rakshasas would have just torn her to pieces. So Lakshmana says, let us go back to the hermitage. And on the way back, he says, Sita Ma was chastised me with very harsh words. That's why I had to leave. But then Rama says that you shouldn't have done that. She was a woman. She just said it. Why did you do it? You shouldn't have done that. You should have listened to my word, and you shouldn't have left her. And he's raving and lamenting. His left eye throbs. He stumbles, and he gets repeated warnings of impending doom. And he sees that no one is there to welcome him in the cottage. And like pools of lotus pools in the winter, the leafy abode is dark and dreary without Janaki. The flowers are sobbing. Birds and beasts are listless, and the ashrama looks in perfect confusion. Rama bursts into tears. Oh, my Sita, have the Rakshasas just eaten her? But did she go to a pond? Did she go to did she hide herself? Did she go to the Godavari? He ran from one place to another as if he's demented, from one tree to another, from one hill to another, from one stream to another, and his eyes are reddening. And then he talks to the trees. Oh, Kadamba tree, did you see my Sita? My Sita really loves your flowers. Oh, Bilba tree, my Sita's skin is as smooth and silken as you. Where is she? Oh, Arjuna tree, my Sita loves your flowers. Did you see her? Oh, Kakuba, my Sita's thighs are as smooth as your trunk. Did you see her? Oh, Tilaka, Sita loves you with songs of honeybees. Oh, Ashoka, Ashoka means you do not have any sorrow. Please remove my sorrow. Oh, Jambu, Sita also glitters like gold, just like you. So did you see my Sita? Oh, Karnikara, my Sita loves your flowers. Did you see my beloved Sita? So Sita was so fond of these flowers. Have you seen Sita? Have you seen Sita? He was running like a madman, begging the flowers to tell him. By the way, these are just 6 chapters, but so profound. These, begging the flowers, but they're all silent. He races at full speed, and he sees behind some creepers. Oh, is Sita over there? He's not there. Then he wanders another place, but he still doesn't find her. He has the deer, the elephants, and the tigers, but they are all silent as well. And he says, Sita, Sita, do you not have any pity? Why are you playing with me? But you never really carry one joke so far. Sita, Sita, where are you? Where are you? Have the Rakshasas chopped you to bits? Oh, Sita, she must have cried in agony. She must have writhed in pain. Oh, Lakshmana, did you see my Sita anywhere? Did you find her anywhere? Oh, where is my Sita? Lakshmana says, my brother dear, just calm down. Just calm down. Maybe she just went to the forest pond. Maybe she just hidden herself as a joke. Because Sita is so innocent and she's so sweet that she plays like this. So maybe this is all that she did. Oh, then Rama gained some new hope. Maybe she went. To gather some more flowers, and maybe let's do that. Maybe the mountains have this beautiful ores and all that, right? So Sita man really loved to collect these. Maybe she's gone over there. Maybe she's just playing with the birds. Maybe. And she runs here and there. He runs here and there, but he still doesn't find her anywhere. What should we do? What should we do? And Rama just swoons in grief. And when he wakes up, he's thinking about Sita and says, oh Sita, and then he bursts fresh into tears. And Lakshmana doesn't have any word of solace at the moment. And he says, are you hiding behind the Ashoka trees or the Karnikara groves? And how am I supposed to return to Ayodhya and tell Janaka that I lost his beloved daughter? And what am I supposed to say? And he says, Lakshmana, I'm going to die over here. So I'm going to die out of grief. So you go back and tell Kausalya and Sumitra and Kaikeyi that this is what has happened. Tell them that I lost Sita and I died out of grief. Oh, Sita must have cried for me. The Rakshasas must have eaten her. Oh, on the banks of River Godavari, how many moments of bliss we have actually spent with each other. Did the sun notice anything? Did the Vayu notice something? Lakshmana consoles Rama, but Rama continues to lament. Then Lakshmana says, let's go to Godavari and let's find out. And then he asked the animals, have you seen Sita? So at once they sprung up and they turned towards the sky and ran south. So Lakshmana says, okay, so this means that Sita Ma has been kidnapped by someone and she is going in the southern direction and she was flying along the sky. And therefore they say, okay, fine, let's walk in the southern direction. And then he saw the flowers that he himself had gathered for Sita that was scattered on the ground. So we offer Pushpanjali to Lord Rama, but Rama collects the flowers and he gives them to Sita Ma. This is Sita Ma's position. This is where Sita Ma is. Okay, and he says Sita always spoke in Shlakshna, Suvyakta, and Mridu Bhasha. This is how she spoke. Oh, how she would have suffered with demons. And then he cries to Prasravana. Prasravana heals. Did you see my Sita? Nothing. He says, I'm going to shatter you. Nothing. I'm going to reduce everything. And then he sees a large footprint and many small footprints. And then he realizes that maybe a Rakshasa had chased Sita and she ran towards the hermitage. And he also sees a lot of battle stuff, like bows, quivers, chariots all shattered to bits. And he said, who had this military arsenal? What happened? And he says the Lord of Dharma did not protect Sita. The Dikpalas did not protect her. And they all think that because Rama is very gentle, it means that I am incapable of doing things. Rama is capable of destroying the entire Rakshasas. The planets will not move. The mountains shall be shattered. The Dikpalas will be vanquished if they don't return Sita to me immediately. And I will destroy every creature in this universe and wipe out the entire universe out of existence. This is the anger of Lord Rama. He was about to destroy this entire universe because the Dikpalas did not return Sita to him immediately. He wanted to destroy this entire universe. He grasps his terrible bow. He places a terrible arrow on it. It's as terrible as the fire of dissolution. If Sita is not brought to him this instant, she who is more important to him than his own life, then this entire universe is going to be devastated. Never before, nor never after, does Rama exhibit such behavior. Yes, during the Sagara pastime, he wants to destroy the entire ocean. We have seen that. We have seen he gets angry with Jabali, but never before nor never after does he say that he wants to destroy this entire universe. When Sitama goes into the earth, he says that he's going to destroy the earth. This comes in Uttarakhand. But over here, he says that he's going to destroy the entire universe. And Lakshmana knows that the creation is on the very brink of extinction. Many a time when Lakshmana was angry, Rama had to just calm him down, and that's it. But when Rama gets angry, it takes a very great bhakta to be able to calm him down. Only a great bhakta can do that. He folds his hands, prays to his brother, you're very gentle by nature, noble excellences are part of you, you're as cool as a radiant moon, and your dazzling brilliance of the sun, motion of Vayu, or the forbearance of earth. Chandre Lakshmi Prabha Surya Gati Vayu Bhuvi Kshama. Etacha niyatam sarvam tvai cha anutamam yashaha. So they're all part of you. So you are seeing only one chariot. You have seen one set of footprints. So this is the work of one enemy. Do not destroy the entire world for the crime of one. The gods have not insulted you. No one has thought that you should suffer. No one can displease you. Let's try to get Sitama through peaceful means. And if everything else fails, then let's go ahead and annihilate the Dikpalas. Rama is still dazed with uncontrollable grief. And then Lakshmana falls flat at his feet and says, just as how the Devatas and the Danavas churn the ocean of milk for thousands of years, and then finally it produced Amrita. Similarly, Dasharatha conducted so many austerities and then finally obtained you as the son. So Rama is the Amrita. This is just as the Amrita pleases everyone. Oh Rama, this is your nature. You please everyone. Fortitude, serenity, and courage are your inborn traits. If you were to succumb to grief, what will ordinary people turn to? And great souls preserve their calmness in the face of great calamity. Even Brihaspati, the teacher of the gods, cannot advise you, but I'm just making one petition. There was only one criminal. Just one person has perpetrated this crime. So please, I'm begging you, do not destroy this entire world. We come across that individual and he will pay for the sin. So Rama calms down and then he leans on his bow, avashtabhya danuhu chitram, and he asked Rama, Rama asked Lakshmana, okay, Lakshmana, what do you think we should do next? Rama says, let us search the forest. This is what we should do. So Lakshmana's service changes in the last year of the Vanvas. So far, Rama was relying on Lakshmana to build the cottages, to get him some water, get him some food, make sure that things are comfortable and all that. But right now, he relies on Lakshmana to be his support. So throughout this year of grief, of separation from Mother Sita, Lakshmana is the only person who gets that counsel of Rama. Of course, Sugriva also supports him. Hanuman is there to support him. It's all there. But Lakshmana, the closest thing he has to him, or his own self, who knows Sita right from the very beginning. He was there for the breaking of the bow. He was there for the marriage. He was there for the 13 years they passed in the exile. He was there right from the very beginning. Rama relies on Lakshmana. So the services of Lakshmana are myriad. The services of Lakshmana keep on changing, and he adapts to it very beautifully. And Lakshmana is beyond what anyone can ever imagine. Let's try to finish off Aranya Kanda today. I'll try to be very quick. Moksha. So now, little south of the battle, they see a huge bird. And Rama tells Lakshmana, maybe this is the Rakshasa in disguise. And then Rama places a fiery arrow. And then the vulture wails piteously and says, no, I'm actually Jatayu, and the person for whom you were searching for, as if you were searching for medicine, was kidnapped by Ravana, and that very Ravana reduced me to the state. And I tried to prevent the kidnap of Sita, I even fought a tough battle, and I even destroyed everything, but still Ravana carried her away. Rama flings his bow and clasps Jatayu and rolls on the ground while crying in agony. So for a Kshatriya like Lord Rama, they just don't discard their weapons. So yes, it's not as if even in sleep he was holding on to the bow. And there were many places where he keeps them separately, but they're always guarded. They're always in prayers. It's like that. Over here, he sees his bhakta in agony. Rama just flings the bow on the ground, and he clasps Jatayu. This is the affection that Rama has for his bhaktas. And Rama strokes the limbs of the dying bird with as much affection as one would show their own father. Why? Because Jatayu loves him as a parent, because he's his friend's son, Dasharatha's son. So he loves him as a parent. So that was the bond that Jatayu wanted to foster with the Lord. The Lord immediately reciprocates in that same way. So the way we approach the Lord, that same way he will approach us. Okay? So he feigns where he asks his beloved Sita. Rama says, Jatayu, please tell me more about Ravana and how Sita was there during the kidnap. And he says, during the Rakshasa king took her through the sky, the Muhurta in which Mother Sita was kidnapped is Vinda Muhurta. And in Vinda Muhurta, if an owner were to lose an object, he will get it back. And therefore, Rama, do not grieve. You will certainly slay Ravana, and you will certainly get Sita. Vaidehya Ramsasya Kshipram Hatvatam Kshipram Hatva. Immediately, very quickly, you will kill Ravana. Okay, and then Uh-oh. I think I accidentally deleted this. So Rama says that, oh, my dear Jatayu, thank you for doing all of this. And he asks Lakshmana to build a pyre. He said that he protected Sita just as if he were a father, and I am going to do the duties of a son, and I'm going to conduct the funeral rites. So for Jatayu, Lord Rama himself conducts the funeral rites, and he sends him to Vaikuntha. Next, while they were walking towards the south, they go from Dandakaranya to Krauncharanya, and there is another forest called around Matangashrama, and they see one huge demoness called Ayomukhi. Ayomukhi means the one with iron-like face, I think, and says that you need to marry me. Lakshmana chops off her ears, nose, and breasts with his sword, and she vanishes into the cave. And then they go further down into the forest and they see one hideous Rakshasa. He had no separate head, mouth was in the stomach, and he was covered with thick hair, and a huge eye was shining from his chest. And he had long arms. Each arm was about 1 yojana. 1 yojana is about 8 miles. And Kabandha Rakshas draws himself closer to the brothers, and Lord Rama and Lakshmana both allow themselves to be overpowered. And the princes chop off the long arms of Kabandha, and he roars with pain. And then he asks, "Who are you?" And they say that we are Rama and Lakshmana. Kabandha is very happy, and he tells them the story. He used to be the son of one Gandharva by the name of Danu, and he used to change his form to scare the rishis. And one day, Rishi Trishiras cursed him to retain that hideous form. And he says that when Rama and Lakshmana chop off the hand, he will regain his former beauty. Brahma had blessed him with long life. And one day he decided to he decided to take on Indra. And Indra beat him with his vajra, and he gave him a mouth and long arms. And he promised him, you will attain Svarga when Rama and Lakshmana chop down your long arms. So now he had the faith in Maharishi's Tulshira's words, and he was waiting for Rama and Lakshmana to come and chop his arms. And he says that I have a plan that is going to help you save Rama, help you find Janaki. So please, please promise to cremate me. So Rama and Lakshmana dig a huge pit, and they put Kabandha in there, and they set him up on fire. And Kabandha, as a Gandharva, he arises from it in resplendent glory, and is very beautiful. And he says, Rama, you need to seek an ally. And right now, the best ally that you can get is Sugriva, who is residing in Rishyamukha. Sugriva is highly valorous, resplendent, radiant, truthful, steadfast, and shrewd and great. Vanarendra Mahavirya Tejovan Amita Prabha Satya Sandhu Vinita Dhritiman Matiman Mahan. So these are the qualities of Sugriva. So with Sugriva's vast army, you can definitely find Mother Sita. He is the son of Surya, and he says that this is the path, you will reach this forest, you will reach this river, this is where you have to go, and this is where you will finally reach Pampa. But on the way, you have to please stop and see Shabari. Shabari has served Matang Muni and her teachers. She has totally 7 gurus. She served them very beautifully, and right now she's still in that ashram in the hopes of serving you. So don't forget, you have to find Sugriva. He just says that, and he goes back to his abode, to his Swarga. Now, the great Bhaktin Shabari. Now, they travel, and they reach the hermitage of Shabari. By the way, the place of Shabari is still there in Kerala. That's the mountain is known as Shabari Mala. That is still there in Kerala. It's still there. The river Pampa is still there. So these are all actual places. These are not fictitious. The old ascetic rises and she goes around them with reverent affection. She offers them argyam, that is water to wash their feet and hands and mouth. And she says, and she's so pleased to have them in her hermitage. Rama said, are you steady in your tapasya and your service to your gurus? Shabari says that the fruit of serving the gurus is the very fact that I'm seeing you, my dear Rama. Adya prapta siddhi tava samdarshanat maya adyame safalam janma garuva cha supujitaha. Oh Rama, the fact that I have been serving my gurus like this is what is causing me to see you right now. This is all the fruit of serving my beloved guru. Then the Lord said that your sins have all fallen, and Shabari says that when the Lord was in Chitrakuta, so this is almost 13 years ago, we can calculate it this way. The gurus went to the higher planetary systems, but they said that we want you to reside over here so that you can serve Rama and Lakshmana. You can offer them hospitality. They are going to be your guests, and then you should come to them. And so the gurus said that one day Rama and Lakshmana will come. They did not specify when. So Shabari had the utmost faith in her guru that one day Rama and Lakshmana will come. It took them 13 years. 13 years she was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And she was waiting because her gurus had promised that Rama and Lakshmana will certainly come. Then Rama says, I want to see your glorious gurus. Shabari shows them the place where her gurus conducted the tapasya. They had offered, their garlands were still there, the bark robes were still wet. And now she says, Rama, please allow me to go and join my gurus. Rama iterates his acceptance of her hospitality and says, you go to the world that you desire. Tam uvacha tato Ramaha Shabari samshrita vratam archito aham tvaya bhadre gaccha kamam yatha sukam. Gaccha kamam yatha. So wherever you desire, you go over there. So Shabari builds a fire. She casts her old body into it. She arises with a resplendent body with celestial ornaments and garments. And with the might of bhakti, she arises herself in the abode of her gurus. Now, what is the difference between Jatayu and Shabari's liberations? For Jatayu, Rama specified that he will obtain high worlds, and Rama himself conducts the funeral rites and sends Jatayu to Vaikuntha. Shabari already had moksha from her gurus. She was already told by her gurus that after she serves Rama and Lakshmana, she is to come to them. So gurus had already given her the moksha, and therefore Rama says you go to the world of your gurus. So Shabari teaches us that if we follow bona fide gurus, then they can give us moksha if our devotional service is correct. Another interpretation is that when we die thinking of our spiritual master, if the spiritual master is bona fide, then we will attain the same world as the spiritual master. So this is why it's not just necessary to follow a spiritual master, it is necessary to follow the bona fide spiritual master. Because the bona fide spiritual master is the one who can be with us during life and death. Then Shabari ascends Vaikuntha and Rama and Lakshmana proceed towards Rishyamukha to meet Sugriva and his 4 ministers. They bathe in the holy rivers of Matan Sarath and they slowly see river Pampa. This is actual Pampa, by the way. I got it from the net. This is the actual Lake Pampa. So now key takeaways. Sage's power is also exhaustible, but Rama is Satya Parakrama. Sita Ma did not want the Lord to fight without due cause. The demon Akampana was the first person to suggest to Ravana that he should kidnap Sita Ma. This is very important for us to remember. Maricha's bond with the Lord was through fear. Lakshmana does not draw a line to keep Sita Ma in the hermitage. Lord is so kind that even a carnivorous bird can attain liberation if it shows bhakti. Kabandha Rakshas asked the Lord to meet Shabari and Sugriva. A bona fide spiritual master is just as capable of granting liberation as the Lord. And now, are there any questions? So I'm going to record this one. Yes, the question is whether Shabari tasted the fruits first and then offered them to Lord Rama. This is not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. Because first of all, Shabari is a great tapaswini. So she doesn't really have to taste something to figure out what the taste is. She, through the powers of her asceticism, she is capable of doing it. And another thing is that when people condemn Agastya and everything, waters are automatically sweet, fruits are automatically sweet, and all that. We saw the powers of Matan Muni and his other fellow gurus. Their garlands were still fresh, their bark robes were still wet. So they were very powerful. And when people of the rishis of such great power are there, it's not possible for them to not have very sweet fruits and all that. These are just byproducts of bhakti, actually. All of these sweetness and beauty and everything is just a byproduct of bhakti. So this is not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana, and I am not sure if any of the Puranas have mentioned this either. I am not sure. I've only read the concise versions of Puranas, but I'm not sure. It's definitely not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana, that much I can say. Any other question? Mangalam Koshalendraya, Mahaniya Gunade, Chakravarti Tanujaya, Sarva Bhaumaya Mangalam. Jai Sitaram. Tomorrow, let's meet, same time. Let's finish off Kishkinda Kant. Hare Guru.
Yes, sir.
Jai Sita.